This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, and may the 4th be with you.
It happened.
It happens. It's May 4th. I'm Tori, and I'm here with Lindsay and Al. Let's get started. As you may have heard, one of the richest couples in the world are getting divorced. Bill and Melinda Gates made the announcement yesterday, saying, after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. Now, the couple, who've been married for 27 years, have 3 kids together and a fortune estimated at about $124 billion, according to Forbes. They also have no prenup. I'll wait until your jaw gets off the floor, according to court records, but they do have a whole lot of assets to divide. Get ready for this. It includes their 66,000 square foot home in Washington, known as Xanadu, 2.0, worth a whopping $125 million. It's just one of at least 4 other properties around the country. The couple also has a collection of cars, including this rare Porsche 959, or Porsche, if you will. It is believed they own a $65 million Gulf Jetstream, and they famously purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Codex for $30 million in 1994. Now, Bill is also reportedly the biggest private owner of farmland in the U.S., with 242,000 acres across 18 different states. I'm exhausted. What'd y'all think of this? I was shocked when I saw this. Al, what'd you think when you heard about the divorce?
I don't know why we're talking about 2 people splitting this up. They can just be on the same property and never see each other.
Yeah, you're right. That thing was huge.
This is already split up. You wouldn't see each other unless you coordinated it on your phone anyway. And honestly, Linz, I want to get your opinion on this. I feel like this has the greatest TMZ story of all time written all over it, except it's the Gates, or it would be the Gateses. I don't know, the Gates.
You did well, yep.
I just don't think they care about money like that. They started initiatives to help other billionaires, show them how to give most of their money away. I don't think this is going to get ugly.
Yeah, they're the 4th richest couple in the world, and they're giving $10 million apiece to their 3 kids. $10 million. They have multi-hundred billion, or a couple 124 billion.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm not going to get into that, but I think that they are, because I don't have that money to think about how I want to handle my kids. I wish I did. But I think that they are really a practical couple. When I think about, and I watched the documentary, they talked about how Bill took out a whiteboard and did the pros and cons of marriages and was like, here's why I want to get married, here's why I wouldn't want to get married.
So romantic.
Not romantic at all, but it just is the idea of, like, I think that they thought through this divorce. It's not much messy TMZ drama here. They said they're both still going to run this foundation. And so based on the history of their relationship, I think that they just decided this wasn't working out, and they waited till their youngest kid was 18 years old.
That's what I think.
Which I think is just mature adult thing. That was also a whiteboard choice.
I think it's a whiteboard
accident.
Definitely.
It's totally a whiteboard choice. I think they waited till, and this is relatable to a lot of you. How many of you at home have gone through a divorce after 27 years, and you've waited until the last kid, right, was 18, and you just aren't on the same page? You've grown apart. I think that's totally fair. One thing I want to say is when you walk into their home, you get a special pin, and it can monitor the way you like the lights, the music, and the art on the wall, and it will change as you walk through the house.
My other mind says, like, what issues can you have with $125 billion?
There's a lot of issues.
There's
a lot.
I just can't imagine.
But I'm glad that it doesn't seem to be so angry, that it might be more amicable. So let's wait and see.
That's how they always start.
I know. And he's single. Both of them are single, guys. So check it out on dating sites. Now, there's been a rather disturbing development in the Derek Chauvin trial, and we here want to discuss it. It's very layered, and it all comes down to this. It's a picture of a juror named Brandon Mitchell. You can see him wearing a shirt that says, "Get your knee off my neck," and BLM. He's also wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. Now, the photo was taken at an event to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech this past August in Washington, D.C. Here's the problem. As part of jury selection, he was asked about questions about demonstrations or attending marches against police brutality. He answered no to those questions and has defended his participation, saying it was only related to MLK's March on Washington. It was not about George Floyd. Now, Mitchell also says he does not recall wearing or owning the shirt. Some say Derek Chauvin can point to the picture to argue he was denied his right to an impartial jury and may be grounds for an appeal or even overturning the case. Big moment. Lindsay, thoughts?
When I first saw the story, I was fuming because as a person who has a strong opinion on Black Lives Matter, I still would love the opportunity to be part of a jury, but I would be honest about where I stand on certain things, which I think he should have done. I think the loosely based definition of what protest he was at, whether it was March on Washington, because MLK stood for more than just anti-police brutality, is going to be up for debate. But what he's doing is putting this whole trial in jeopardy. There were 12 people that in 3.5 hours decided he was guilty on the heaviest charge. And so 11 of those people still would have done that. We still would have had a little bit of sliver of justice for George Floyd if he didn't go on a media tirade on CNN, ABC, the New York Times. He did individual interviews with all these people just to tell them his side of the story. And then look what happens. As journalists do, they dug up more information, and now this looks crazy. And so he's just putting this whole thing in jeopardy. At the very least, legal experts are saying that he's going to get called down for questioning, and that could lead to a mistrial. And so is it worth it for you, for all this publicity that you got, to do all this? If you were willing to lie, and I know a lot of people might lie about jury duty, but you were willing to lie, then go on the media rampage also? I'm just confused about what the motive was. It seems very self-involved.
Fair opinion. Al, what do you think?
I mean, I had thoughts until I listened to that.
I just was so mad this morning.
Yeah, I was mad too.
You know, I was more thinking about how, you know, Tori, your father's a defense lawyer. There's nuance and there's ways that you can get around things. And I really was hoping, just because I want to put this behind us.
No, I know.
I know that sounds selfish, but I think an appeal, Lindsay, a mistrial after people felt like justice was served, and then the reversal of all that, I understand you guys with the laws, with the words, with the paper, but like out here on the streets, if this was to be overturned for whatever reason, even if it was legal and constitutional, the repercussions could be so detrimental to this country. We're starting to take blows that I don't know if we can recover from. I agree with everything that Lindsay was saying. I was just hoping that they would just let it go so we don't have to talk about this anymore and just let Mr. Floyd's memory live.
And then the one time that we actually got some sliver of justice, then the argument would be that we cheated. Mm-hmm. And Black people have been not given justice for so long that this is unfortunate to taint this entire process that actually went the right way, in my opinion, just to say that we cheated in any way, because I think this was just actual justice.
About police testifying, everything went the right way.
I know, but this is what I'm saying, just based on our laws that we have on the books that we were following to the T for this trial.
It finally went your way.
It finally went the right way. And then we also have this man who just didn't be 100% honest, it looks like. And so there could be a mistrial just based on the laws that are on the books. And I agree that we shouldn't go down that route, but they're not thinking about what will make the public happy. They actually just have to do their job in this case. And so we'll just see what happens.
And from what I just did a little research, and from the fact, not only that can the whole mistrial happen or an appeal, he can get in trouble here. That's perjury. That is lying under oath, and he can go to jail or he can go to contempt. So let us know what you think on Facebook or YouTube. Very interesting discussion. Quickly, before we go to break, though, a police officer's good deed is going viral. He was called to a Dollar Tree store in New York because a man experiencing homelessness was allegedly trying to steal some socks. Check out what happened, though, in the police body cam footage next.
You saying them out burning and stuff? All right, you're gonna be a little light on some socks? Yeah. All right, tell you what, I'll buy you a couple pairs of socks, though, but you gotta stop stealing them. All right, fair enough? All right. You got nothing better than a nice, fresh pair of socks. How many pairs are in here? You got 2 pairs per? Yeah. All right. Ring me up for $15 worth. And then, what colors you want? You want all black? You want mixed? What do you want? Any color? All right. So I'll take $15 worth of the socks.
That's what it's like to protect and serve your community, I would think. What do you guys feel?
I love that he started asking about what colors he wanted.
I know. Sock game is important.
Right. That was a good moment. I think it's good to see these things because the conversation is always that one tainted police officer taints the entire force. And so as somebody who has family that is in law enforcement, it's important to see these images also, that there are good people out there doing good things.
I agree. Do you have good sock game, Al?
I'll just say, speaking about good cops, as somebody that was picked up because I was drunk and walking around the Bronx after a poetry slam, some cops picked me up and took me to my apartment. So there's a lot of good cops.
That is nice.
Life is about balance.
There you go.
Trying to get the bad ones out.
Good way to end on that one. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with TV personality and podcast host Kelly Osbourne. She is keeping it for real 100 with DBL Nation. And imagine if Ben Affleck sent you a message after you turned him down. He actually did that to one woman. That wild story coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in 2 parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection and breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? How long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to dating, just getting the wrinkles out, it appears Ben Affleck doesn't take no for an answer.
Color on you.
Do you? You guys want to?
I really like it.
Do you want to know
love
something?
What you guys have on.
Can I say something?
No, I look like a blueberry.
No, you look
I look like a big balloon. I can't get over this.
Pregnant lady. I wore this to audition.
Oh yes,
and it still fits, so that's a good thing.
Let's hope. Okay. A social media influencer went viral after claiming she was matched with Ben Affleck on the exclusive dating app Raya. She thought it was fake, so she unmatched him, but then revealed on TikTok that Ben sent her a message on Instagram. Have a look.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Wow, I didn't know it was a video message that he sent.
Dude, I would be like, Batman just talked to me. That's so rad.
You would say the worst Batman just talked to me.
It's not a good Batman.
Yeah.
George Clooney was also, no, George Clooney was the worst Batman.
I just think the internet has taken down all the walls everywhere. You can get famous without going into Hollywood. You can date a Hollywood celebrity without actually meeting them in person. And as somebody that knows somebody very well that met a very famous person and married them recently, I can see it. I just used to go to Tequila Tuesdays with her, and now she's married to somebody from a famous sitcom.
Really?
So, yeah, it happens. It's not that crazy anymore.
But how bad would you feel from 1 to 10 if you were that woman?
Okay, the thing is, like, the story doesn't end here. I don't care what anybody says. Like, he sent you a video message and you said, "Kay, let me show the world," and that's it. No, come on, you wrote back. Then you guys go, what's the next step? I need to know, did they date? Are they dating?
No.
Where's J-Lo?
He's with J-Lo for sure now.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Yes.
J-Lo does not like somebody who has a wandering eye. She wants all the attention from what I gather.
I
and so
agree.
she's not going for this.
Except that we've seen Ben Affleck now show up at her house several times from paparazzi. And if they wanted to avoid the paparazzi, they could have done.
That doesn't mean they're dating.
It doesn't mean they're
when
not.
somebody comes to your house on the creep late night in your past, okay, it means you're not,
but you don't
maybe
park
not
in
dating.
front. You don't park in front. I let the garage door up.
Oh my God.
What would you do if you had to respond to like someone famous like Ben Affleck? What would your video response be? Like, please take me back?
I probably would do something embarrassing because I'm like a knee-jerk reactor. I'd be like, oh my God. And then they'd have that video forever. So hopefully they wouldn't do the same thing I did to them on TikTok.
You have to act cool because they like you. So you can't fangirl out because then you're going to go into fan category. You have to be like, hey, sorry about that. I get a lot of crazy messages. Because Ben,
be like, I don't know you, like Mariah Carey did to J-Lo?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's been treated like Ben. He's been treated like Ben Affleck. So when you go, maybe after work I'll shoot you a text, and he's like, what? Ooh. I have 4 assistants. No one tells me that. You got to put him in his own category.
Somebody has some game, and it's not me. Good job, Al. Coming up on DBL, we're chatting with Kelly Osbourne. She's got a brand new podcast, and she's telling DBL Nation all about it. Open book. You're not on it.
Yes.
It's coming up next. No.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Kelly Osbourne became a household name when she was just 17 years old with her family's hit reality show, The Osbournes. She has since dominated the airwaves as a host. She has a brand new podcast, and we caught up with her yesterday in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Please welcome the one and only Kelly Osbourne.
Yeah, yo!
Good girl.
Hi.
Kelly, we have so much to talk to you about, but we also want to check in with you. 2 weeks ago, you announced your relapse. Now, addiction hits very close to home for me, and I really appreciate your transparency. It breaks down that stigma. You're helping people by speaking out. How are you doing right now?
You know, really good. I am very open about what it is that happened and what I'm doing to get myself back on track, because it's all part of this journey, and I need to be honest because it's the only way I know how to hold myself accountable. I am doing an outpatient program again, just like a little therapy pick-me-up, for lack of a better term, and it's great. Like I want to get to the root of what it is that made me believe that I could drink like a normal person, because I can't, and just focus on staying happy and healthy, because I really was before I started drinking again. Like, I don't understand what happened, and that's the nature of addiction and how everything can just be fine. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what happened? Like, I didn't expect this. So it was difficult, a bump in the road, but we all have it. So I just wanted to be open and to the point about it, and kind of tackle it head on rather than lying about it, because I believe you're only as sick as your secrets, and if I could have gone on and nobody would have known.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have made me any better.
I think you're saving so many lives right now by saying this and just being open and honest, and I just appreciate that. Also, such a fan from the Osbournes. Okay, moving on. I did.
Thank you.
I was like, oh my God, I have to freak out. I did want to ask you about getting sober, and is it harder being an Osbourne and having to get sober? I also kind of wanted to go off script here and just ask you, what are your thoughts on being California sober? I know we heard from Demi Lovato that she sometimes drinks, sometimes smokes weed, and you're saying I can't. Wanted to know your take on what that means to you.
Okay, so I can't sometimes drink. That doesn't happen for me. So I don't understand that. That doesn't fall into my brain at all. That's not an option for me. Look, for me, life is the pursuit of happiness, and it's about what makes you happy. If you know, everybody works differently. There's not one set of rules for everyone because when it comes to happiness, because it doesn't work that way. People have asked me about this. The only thing I can say is when people are like that, it means that they need a little bit of love and support, and something's not really going right in their life. So instead of sitting here and criticizing and dissecting her like everyone else does, I'm just going to sit here and say, I think a little bit more love and support and kindness, and I don't agree with it. That's all.
I appreciate that honesty. Thank you.
Well, before we go, your podcast comes out tomorrow, May 4th. I'm so excited.
It does. I'm so excited.
Is it true that you picked that date because it's a Star Wars day?
Ooh, tell us.
Yeah. Because I'm like, may the 4th be with you. We're going to be with you on May the 4th, you know? And yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd. You can thank my brother for that. But yeah, that's why I picked it. And, you know, our motto is what you call freaks, we call family. Everyone's welcome.
Oh,
and
love that.
It's about, you know, everything, nothing is off limits. We want this podcast to be that 45 minutes of just mental freedom where you can switch off and listen to something stupid or reverent or funny or health education or whatever it may be we're talking about that will make you forget about, you know, am I going to be able to pay my mortgage? Am I going to be able to feed my kids? Like whatever it is that's going on, just a mental reprieve for 45 minutes. And that was our mission in doing this.
And I got to tell you, your background's giving me joy. All those cause dolls.
I love
It's like goals. I love that. I'm obsessed.
We're all jealous over here for many reasons. Thank you so much, Kelly Osbourne, for stopping by DBL. Make sure to check out her podcasting
Thank you so much
debut.
for having me, ladies.
We absolutely adore you. The Kelly Osbourne and Jeff Beecher Show. You got to check it out on Podcast One. Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
pandemic's taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even into the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now, all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
You cannot have it both ways.
Then you're a fool, and you deserve to be fired.
Wow.
DBL is off script. You can come at me, and I know you will.
And I need to put that on my license plate or something.
Time out. Like, I'm just gonna be honest.
DBL is unpredictable.
I'll try it today.
Well, now this is where I need to upgrade to.
Is it cool? A little bit.
DBL is your daytime destination. Is it cool? A little bit. Welcome back to
stupid prizes
DBL.
gets me every time.
I love it. Many believe life insurance is too expensive, but it's more affordable than you might think. That's in today's Bang for Your Buck, presented by The Hartford. Insurance companies base their rates on certain factors, so here's what you need to know. Age, first up. The younger you are, the lower your premium is, so don't wait until you're older to enroll. Second up, gender. Life expectancy for women is about 5 years longer than men. And lastly, health and lifestyle. If you have a good medical history, no risky behavior, and a good driving record, you'll have a much lower premium. When it comes to quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back, baby. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. Call the Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. I don't know why I added the baby, but
I liked it. It was really selling and bringing it home.
Bang for your buck, baby.
Honestly, I always feel like the Buck is the best logo because it's like stately, but those horns are like, you don't want this. So I'm on board. I got life insurance. I'm an adult now.
Wow. Good for you, Al.
Thank
DBL,
you.
we're doing every day.
101.
Filled with adults here. We'll see you same time. Okay.
what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the richest couples in the world, Bill and Melinda Gates, are calling it quits. And without a prenup, what's at stake in their multi-billion-dollar divorce? A photo is raising questions about a juror in the Derek Chauvin trial. Will his support for the Black Lives Matter movement mean grounds for an appeal? A woman escapes a cult, surviving the infamous Jonestown massacre.
All of us on that day were ready to die.
And Ben Affleck's bold response to a woman who unmatched him on a dating app.
Why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. And also, our friend Cameron Mathison will be here live in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. We cannot wait. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, May 4th. May the 4th be with y'all. Right. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. You know what, Al? I can't. What? Tori, Al's already giving me side glances. It's going to be an interesting day.
I would bet every dime that I have that Sam couldn't answer 3 basic Star Wars questions. 3 basic ones.
Okay, at some point, we're going to do that.
At some point.
At some point, we will have a little Star Wars trivia, and we'll see who's more of a Star Wars nerd. Okay, so as you may have heard, one of the richest couples in the world, they are getting divorced. Bill and Melinda Gates made the announcement yesterday, saying after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. The couple, who've been married for 27 years, have 3 kids together and a fortune estimated at about $124 billion, according to Forbes. They also have no prenup, according to court records, but they do have a whole lot of assets to divide, including their $66,000 square foot home in Washington, known as Xanadu, right?
That's it.
Worth a whopping 2.0, worth a whopping $125 million. Oh, Xanadu 2.0 is the name. Okay. And then they have $125 million, I believe, in assets.
That's how much the house is worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I thought that was a resort. It's hard for me to read the prompter
it's
because
hard
I'm so
to even,
stuck.
I don't know what we're looking at.
I'm
2
looking
people
at
own this.
a resort in like Vail, Colorado. Yeah, that's a home, everybody. It's just one of at least 4 other properties around the country. And the couple also has a collection of cars, including this rare Porsche 959. It is believed they own a $65 million Gulfstream jet as well. And they famously purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Codex for $30 million back in '94.
That's dope.
That's crazy. Bill is also reportedly the biggest private owner of farmland in the U.S. with 242,000 acres across 18 states. Wow. Wow, wow. Okay, I feel like you have a lot to say.
Well, no, I don't think there's any tea to be had here. I think we want to look into like, how much does she get? How much do the kids get? There's too much money to take whatever you want. Take it, be happy with your life. How do you not be happy? This is like above anything we ever talk about. We want to make it something, but I don't think we can.
Yeah, Jeff, first of all, how much could somebody take where you would even notice? I think is the question. I look at this more just like, how did 2 people get all of this? And I wonder, when you think about all the employees that they've had, I understand that we have the upper 10% and then the 1% and then the 1% of the 1%, but wealth distribution does seem like it's out of whack a little bit. I'm not for, everybody gets equal, but that is so unequal.
Right.
For probably, no disrespect, the amount of work that they did. I don't know if anybody can do that much work in their lifetime. I just looking at that as a little grotesque to me, Tori. Am I wrong?
Tori, a lot of people, really quickly to Al's point, don't believe in billionaires. But let's boil it down to a lot of people at home. And I know a lot of you are thinking, how can I relate to 2 billionaires? And first and foremost, they have a separation agreement. They both have said that rich people should not waste money on divorce. So they're way ahead of everybody else. They have everything already divided up. Everything's taken care of. They know exactly how it's going to be broken down, even though they don't have a prenup, Tori. However, the people watching at home, they can understand these 2 people, despite their wealth, have decided to split up after their kids have left home. I think a lot of parents out there can relate to the fact that once their kids are out the door, maybe they don't have as much in common as they did 20 years prior.
Yeah, their youngest is 18. I think that's exactly what it is. And I don't think you're going to see an angry divorce. They already have this all worked out. But I will say this one thing is, at some point, after 27 years, it's sometimes just you grow differently. And I think, as you said, that's super relatable. How many of you at home are understanding that sometimes we just go in different directions? Don't expect a lot of tea, as Jeff said. Expect a very civil way, and know that their kids are each only getting 10 million each only, and then the rest they're trying to give up before they pass away. So
Only 10 mil.
they're really great at
Only
giving
10
away.
mil.
Yeah.
Now they will continue to work together with their foundation.
Yes.
So to me, it seems like this is very amicable. Okay, so there's been a rather disturbing development in the Derek Chauvin trial, and it all comes down to this picture of a juror named Brandon Mitchell. You can see him wearing a shirt that says "Get your knee off our necks" and BLM, and also wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. The photo was taken at an event to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech this past August in D.C. So here's the problem. As part of jury selection, he was asked questions about attending demonstrations or marches against police brutality. He answered no to those questions and has defended his participation, saying it was related to MLK's March on Washington, not about George Floyd's death. Mitchell also says he does not recall wearing or owning the shirt. Some say Derek Chauvin can point to the picture to argue he was denied his right to an impartial jury and may be grounds for an appeal or even overturning the case. Tori, what do you make of this development?
It's not good, Sam. It's very bad to lie to a judge. And if people are questioning what the actual questions to the jury was, one was about, did you ever protest for George Floyd in Minneapolis? But there was a second question that I need you to know. It says, other than what you have already described, have you or anyone close to you participated in protests about police use of force or police brutality? He said no to that. Well, the problem is when you have a shirt that says "Get off our necks," that is so directly related to George Floyd, it's going to be hard to argue that that wasn't lying to the judge. And I don't want this to be true. But if he did lie, that can be a mistrial, that can go to appeal, and he can be put away for perjury since that's under oath. It doesn't look good.
Tori, can I ask you, I mean, obviously your father has a background in law. Would this be up to the judge's discretion in terms of an appeal? Because I'm assuming there's a lot of nuance, because I listened to the longer form interview that he gave. It was about 27 minutes, and he said he was at a rally where, yes, there was BLM and George Floyd discussions going on, but it was about getting out the vote because people didn't just want to complain, they wanted to be proactive. So would that be enough nuance for a judge to potentially not hear this appeal because of that?
Well, an appellate court is the one that accepts whether or not they hear the appeal. A judge can maybe order a mistrial. Here's the problem, though. The shirt had MLK on it. He was at an MLK rally. All of that can be argued. It's the phrase for me that says, "Get off our necks." That's a very specific phrase that came out of the George Floyd protest about police brutality, and he should have brought it up, in my opinion. I wish and hope this doesn't do anything, but it's not great.
We'll be following it, and I'm sure the rest of the world will be too. Coming up on DBL, one woman is taking us inside one of the most notorious cults ever, Jonestown, from life with Jim Jones to her daring escape. Don't miss the start of our series, free from the following cult survivor stories. Plus, we're talking live with our friend. There he is, Cameron Mathison. Hey! He's telling us all about his return to soaps, you guys, and our medical expert, Dr. Piacoli, is breaking down the latest COVID-19 headlines. Don't go away.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection and breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? How long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. We're here for you every day, DBL Nation, with just the facts and answers to your COVID-19 questions. But today, we came up with some of our very own questions based on our scenarios that we've encountered. So Dr. Piaccoli joins us live. Hey, doctor. So my first question is about vaccine etiquette. Is it rude to ask someone if they're vaccinated, whether you know them or not? What would you say?
Such an important question, Sam. So I would say the real question to ask yourself is, why are you asking? If you're asking in order to keep your interaction safe, then it's completely reasonable to ask. But if you're just being a nosy Parker and trying to be curious, then you don't want to get into their protected health information. Now, keep in mind, it is their information, so it's their decision whether they want to share it with you or not. If you do ask, try to ask in an indirect fashion. So rather than saying, hey, show me that vaccine card, you may want to say, oh, this was my vaccine experience, what was yours? And that's kind of an indirect way of getting the information out of them. But I have to say, Sam, the politest thing to do is to volunteer the information. So now when I meet anyone new, I say, hi, I'm Pyle, I'm fully vaccinated.
I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I like it. All right, Doc, my name's Jeff, and I'm fully vaccinated. So I'm going to start with my question. What's the deal with going to a restaurant, you walk in with your mask, you sit down, nobody's wearing a mask when they sit down, and then if you have to go to the bathroom, you put your mask back on. Is that necessary? And I'm only speaking, I guess, to vaccinated people, but I want your opinion on that.
Yeah, a question that I've seen commonly, Jeff, and it's hard to know what restaurant etiquette should be in the setting of this mixed vaccination. So I would say, yes, it's still necessary for a couple of reasons. One, by wearing the mask, Jeff, even though you're fully vaccinated, you are protecting yourself and you're protecting the unvaccinated people in the restaurant. Two, you're respecting the public health guidance. So if there is a mask mandate in indoor settings in your state, it is the right thing to do to wear the mask when you're not eating. But three, and most importantly, I think it adds to your whole movie star allure if you put on the mask and put on some sunglasses and walk to the bathroom.
You should have just started with that one, and I would have been all on board. But yeah, I'm on board. Good answer.
Now he's glowing. Good job, Dr. Coley.
Now, Doc, there's been a lot of talk about young people and vaccines lately. So I have a scenario. Now, this is hard to believe. I'm not 21 in this scenario, although I look it. But this is an imaginary person.
You do.
If I'm 21 and I've never been sick a day in my life, do I need to worry about getting the vaccine as much as an older person?
So it's true that if you're 21 and you're healthy, your risk of dying from this infection is very, very low. But you still need to go and get that vaccine, because if you do get the infection, you could infect somebody else. You could have long COVID, which could affect your life, forever. You could have complications like infertility, mental health complications, a whole host of other things. So this is a bad infection. You don't want to get it, and we have the secret sauce now to prevent you from getting it. So yes, no matter what your age, you need to get that vaccine.
Does that same thing apply to me because I look like I'm 21?
Okay.
And what was that?
It especially applies if you look.
Wow.
Doc, what was that? The movie star thing you said?
can't.
What was that? With the mask? So,
You see what I
mean, we're two stars here.
me and Al,
we can't go out in public. We can't go to the mall. There'll be a riot.
There would be. All right, Dr. Cole, we appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Doc.
Coming up on DBL, our friend, TV host, and actor, there he is,
Yes.
Cameron Mathison. Yes, he's back and chatting with us live coming up next. Yeah, buddy.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Cameron Mathison, longtime friend of our show, is known for his Hallmark movies, and you all know how much I love me a good Hallmark movie, his TV shows, and his long stint as a soap star. And he's joining us today with exciting news. Hey, about his next steps.
Hey.
Cameron Mathison,
Hey,
welcome back.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Cam?
You look
Great
like
to see you guys.
So good to see you. We were just talking about that you look like you're in a magical forest, which is it suits you.
I kind of am in a magical forest. I'm doing a 2-week quarantine up in Canada before I shoot my next Hallmark movie. And I actually found this quarantine location myself for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to find a magical forest, which is not easy to find. And number two, I've got a huge 80-yard chipping area. Can you see it over there? Oh, you can't. There you go. I'm chipping balls over here. I'm hitting golf balls.
What? Jeff is so jealous. I see it right now, and I'm loving it. Okay, so before we get into your big news about your next TV role, give us an update on your health. You beat kidney cancer over a year ago. We are so proud of you. Tell us about your health now, how you stay fit. We also heard you gave up coffee. Give us all the details.
So part of this, I figured the only chance for me to give up coffee, by the way, coffee's not bad. I was just overdoing it. I figured I'd lock myself in a cabin in the mountains with no coffee, and maybe I could then finally give it up. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. My 1-year MRI came back completely clear, so 1 year down, hopefully many to go. I feel excellent, super healthy. I've got my energy back and my strength back, and I'm, I couldn't be more grateful. I'm really, really lucky.
Cam, everyone knows I got a mush on you. I got a man crush on you, buddy. Everyone knows that. I follow you
Back at you, brother. Back at you.
Yes. I follow you on Instagram, and you're always doing goofy stuff. You still have teenage daughters. You're dancing with your daughter, Vanessa. What else do you do to embarrass them? Am I embarrassed by you, Cam, or did I look at that. That doesn't seem embarrassed.
Listen. I love that you called her my daughter. I don't know if that was just a slip up or not, but that happened to be my wife. But I'm going to tell her you called her her daughter. Anyway.
I was like,
because it got weird. I don't have a prompter over here, and I saw Vanessa, so thank God you corrected me, because I'm like, that's something salsa dancing with your daughter. So
that would have been really weird, dude. This interview would have gone a whole different direction. No, that's my wife.
That was his wife.
Because Cam, I'm just going to say this as an observer. I'm seeing Jeff asking that question. I'm like, oh, your daughter's beautiful and young, and now I was like, that's a little, and then I was like, well, that's cool, and I was like, oh no. So it was just a slow sequence. So thank you for clearing that up. So we're still in the air today. All right. And,
yeah, man. No, we embarrass our kids every possible way that we can. That is for sure. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I've got like host voice a lot of the time wherever I go. So me being loud in public is a way that I'll embarrass the kids. I'll embarrass them by just like kind of, confronting people in a tricky situation. I'm the guy who kind of like talks about it with people, and I do it in a nice way, I hope, but that absolutely embarrasses them to no end. And there's just so many ways. There's just so many ways. I just have to get up out of bed in the morning and I embarrass them.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed myself right now.
But it's just like, can we lose the embarrass? Oh, that's my embarrassing dad that looks like a model who's on a soap opera that beat cancer in a year.
I know.
And it's the most driven person you ever meet. So dirty. Like, what?
On that note, but the number one thing I can do to cause a problem with my kids is if I post a picture without full photo approval on social media. Like that is the absolute deal breaker dad move. My stock as a dad plummets once I do something like that. So that's the main thing.
They will fix the lighting. I'll give them that. All right. Obviously, we're talking about
Al's embarrassed.
Yes. Obviously, we're talking about your parenting roles that you've had on TV, and you've landed a new one. Congratulations. As an Emmy-nominated soap star, you're back in your familiar waters, joining GH, General Hospital. Tell us, what excites you most about returning to soaps?
I mean, a lot of things. It's literally one of the greatest jobs in the world. When I was on All My Children, I loved it, and gone off, done a bunch of different things. But the number one thing I think about going back is that family feel, working every day as an actor. Also, on some level, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot more hosting these days, with Home and Family and Entertainment Tonight and things that I've done in the last several years. And there's something a little bit more kind of grounding and just kind of, I don't know, more relaxed about working as an actor every day, like up here on a movie coming up, and then I'm going right into General Hospital. So I'm looking forward to that too. It's just, it's a little lower stress, I think, for me.
Lower stress. See, Jeff, you said it's a very stressful being on set.
It is a little stressful, but I mean, it's what you're comfortable with. You're on set right now for your new Hallmark movie, right, Cam?
Yeah, I'm about to shoot it in a couple of weeks. But, when I say lower stress, I mean, like, for me, memorizing words, and you got to do like 30 pages of dialogue every day, and you got to knock it out. You get one take. It's like severely under-rehearsed live theater every night. But for me, that's what I started in. Like I did 15 years of that. That's very, very comfortable for me. I can memorize those pages in the morning over breakfast, and then kind of go in and be myself. Whereas I feel like, hosting or presenting, there's just a different energy about it, a different prep and material. And so for me, I mean, I love both, and I'll still be continuing to do both. But it's hopefully, I say this now, but I heard it's been 10 years since I've done daytime, and I hear it's changed a lot. So if I get in there and I start freaking out, I'm going to be calling you guys. Being like, remember what I said?
Good. Yeah. We love to witness those freakouts, so please give us a call. Cam, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, don't forget to check out Cameron's Instagram, devoted to health and wellness, All Health 360, and stay tuned as more gets revealed about his new role on General Hospital.
Yes.
And, of course, the Hallmark movie coming out. We appreciate you, Cam. Have a great day.
Always good to see you, buddy.
I love you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Love you, too. We'll be right back.
Taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even in the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now, all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Tomorrow on DBL, the desperate search for a missing mother of 3. As time runs out, her family is begging for answers.
Please bring her home. We need our sister.
Don't miss this all-new True Crime Chronicles only on DBL.
Wow. If you are leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A woman who actually escaped Jonestown is sharing her harrowing journey with us. It's the start of our new series, Free from the Following, Cult Survivor Stories. Plus, Mark Wahlberg is taking a new acting role very seriously. Wait till you hear how many pounds he packed on. And thank you to our coworkers watching from home right now. There they are. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Tori joins us from home. So when it comes to dating, it appears Ben Affleck doesn't take no for an answer. A social media influencer went viral after claiming she was matched with Ben on the exclusive dating app Raya. She thought it was fake, so she unmatched him, but then revealed on TikTok that Ben sent her a video message on Instagram to prove it was him. Have a look.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Ew, that was creepy. Was
Why?
that not creepy the way he said it? I thought it was creepy.
What if it was the guy we love? Why am I freezing a brain freeze?
Cillian Murphy?
No, Bill Murray.
Well, Bill Murray I wouldn't want to match with. I just want to hang out with. But if you're talking about Cillian Murphy from
Peaky Blinders. I'm still
Peaky
reeling from
Blinders.
telling one of my mentors that he's dancing with his daughter in the kitchen.
I know. Sorry.
Sorry.
Tori, did you not think that was creepy, Tori, the way he said it? I have no problem with him saying, hey, I'm not being catfished. This is me. But the way he said it came off creepy to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked it.
Of course you did.
I liked it a lot. I liked it. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what so frustrating to miss your moment with the Affleck. And now J-Lo's got him, so it's over.
See,
We don't know
I would
if
argue she
J-Lo's
didn't miss her
got him.
moment. First of all, super boo to her.
Why?
Super boo. Why is she putting his business on TikTok when he discreetly
I'm with
messaged
you.
her
Yep.
on a dating site that is reserved for people that do have some kind of celebrity or status in which they want to protect for whatever reason? There's a process to getting into
It was a
Raya.
clout chase.
And so I just thought that she took that as an opportunity to get some more followers as opposed to like trying to find love. I'm not saying he was.
No, that was shady of her. I'm with you there. Shady.
She's a comedian though, so this is kind of like her style.
There was nothing funny about that. She's a comedian?
Well, then who cares?
Yeah,
You're using that term loosely.
Thank
Poor
you.
Al is offended over here.
Yeah, I don't see her on the road.
Sorry.
Tori. Sorry, Tori. I love you, Tori. Okay, this is weird.
Let's move on.
What's happening? Okay, it looks like dad bods are all the rage with some celebrity men. Yesterday, we showed you this photo of Will Smith, where he claimed to be in the worst shape of his life. Now, Mark Wahlberg has also packed on the pounds. He shared a before and after photo of his ripped body, and then one looking a little heavier just 3 weeks later. The weight gain is for a movie role, though. He plays a boxer turned priest in the upcoming film Father Stew. Tori, what do you really, and I know we've had this conversation before, but for some reason, Al and Jeff never believe us. What do you think about Mark's dad bod and just dad bod in general? Don't listen to Jeff and Al.
Okay, and I want this to be really clear. When at least from me, right, when I see someone as ripped as Mark Wahlberg in the previous picture, what I see is someone that has no time for me because they're always at the gym. Yes, it looks nice on a magazine cover, but do I want to cuddle up with it? Do I want to nestle in? No. I prefer someone doughier and also someone who has more time for me. Does that make sense?
To me, it does.
Stop it. Stop this nonsense of I'd rather see a dad bod at the pool than a nice guy who takes care of himself. This is nonsense. These surveys are out of control. Do you like a dad bod? Yes. Did you vote for Donald Trump? No. Do you like Beyonce? Yes. That's all you answer on these surveys. Nobody tells the truth. Everyone's a liar. Don't tell me you think a big gigantic Mark Wahlberg is better than an in-shape Mark Wahlberg.
First of all, you mentioned the pool. Of course, I'm only going to speak for myself, so I can't generalize, but if I saw a ripped bod at the pool, I may ogle. Now, somebody that I want to marry or date, I don't want to have a ripped bod because to Tori's point, it comes off narcissistic.
Where are all the body shamers, Jeff? Like people get so if somebody, a celebrity that was heavy loses weight, they get attacked online. If somebody gets healthy, they get praise online. But when somebody is healthy, I feel like they are open. It's open season to attack them for the way that they look. You guys are prejudging this man because he has an 8-pack.
We're saying he looks.
You're saying you wouldn't marry him. That's prejudging.
No, he never said. Okay.
And first of all, any dude out there, good luck telling your partner they look doughy and that's why you love them.
Well, this leads us to our next story.
This will be the last DBL you ever see.
This leads us into our next story. So good news for men who don't think that they can achieve Mark's before picture. According to a dating expert, looks aren't what make men attractive to women, okay? The expert polled single women on her Facebook page and asked them to reveal traits they find most attractive in a potential partner. Well, guess what? It turns out the majority of ladies said looks just played a small part. Instead, the women said traits like chivalry, a good personality, a sense of humor make men attractive. They also want a man who has respect and values. They are attracted to men who display honesty and confidence way over six-packs. Fully agree with this. That's the difference. They always say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are much more driven by attractive physicality. Women are driven by what's within. If you make me feel good, empowered, and uplifted, I'm putty in your hands. Does that make sense?
Putty, you mean from their fat backs?
I do, Jeff, it blows my mind that money and status never figure into this conversation. It seems like you're calling people a gold digger, but it's not even mentioned. It's like we don't even use the M word. We don't say money when we know that guys with money have a much larger opportunity to have the mate of their choice. Let's just keep it 100. And it's never on this list. It's always honesty and trust, like it's the Knights of the Round Table.
Tori,
Nope.
and that's not true. Tori and I can speak to that. Tori, we've often been the breadwinners in most of our relationships. That's not true. Go, Tori.
Tori, money has nothing to do with it, Tori.
I do think that money is important in terms of structure and stability, but men are visual, and a lot of the time they care about what Sam said, the physicality. And I gotta be honest with you, if a guy is funny and a guy can take care of me, I'm gonna tell you that is such a turn on, and I'm not saying this to look good. It is a turn on deep down in my soul because that's genetically how I was made.
You know what's a turn off? 4 straight Uber pools.
What?
All right.
What does that mean?
That means you don't have your own Uber. All right, it's terrible. I've been broke.
What?
You don't want to be in an Uber with 3 different randoms.
We've all been broke.
Yes, but I'm saying that's not a turn on. Being comfortable, having your own space, having your the decision of like, can we go on vacation? Can we afford to go to a restaurant tonight? That helps with the happiness in your relationship. And you guys are talking about honesty.
Honesty is by far superior. Okay, so
you can't just say that and it's over.
Well, I have to get to the next story.
Okay. Well, then you
She's
can.
the host. A recent Starbucks order has gone viral. A barista posted it on Twitter. It's a caramel crunch frappuccino with 5 bananas, extra caramel drizzle, extra whip, extra ice, 7 pumps of dark caramel sauce, extra caramel crunch. The list goes on. Other baristas responded with photos of their ridiculous orders, like this one. This one asks for cold foam, cocoa powder, vanilla-scented cold foam, 3 pumps caramel sauce, 2 pumps vanilla. It also wants sugar, stevia, and equal in the same drink. Yikes.
These are people who have no friends, and then their only socialization is just going to Starbucks and making these ridiculous orders.
Or they're just really fine-tuning what they like.
No friends.
Because that wasn't your order before Starbucks allowed you to do that. Nobody ever did that at a diner. You know, like that was just something. It's like, oh, I can do that. It's kind of, we've all waited tables. I think that we have had people that are like, I want the lemon on the side, the garnish at the top of the plate, ketchup in a cup. And so I think we know these people, but in the food setting.
Yeah, this is the person that wears a fake ace bandage on their wrist. So they're like, what happened to your wrist? Oh, you'll never believe what happened. I get 6 pumps of whatever.
Tori, go ahead.
No, I just wondered, is there anything to being, I think people in this day and age really like very personalized orders. I think they like the ability to masterfully find and fine-tune their order because everything is now accessible that way, and I think it's like a new trend. Is that not fair?
No, Tori, did you ever wear a
just
fake
have no
ace
friends?
bandage so someone asks you what happened?
No. No, she would never. I will say, listen, I used to be quite extensive with my Starbucks order before I had kids. Now that I have kids, I just don't have time. I'm like, whatever, give me a shot of espresso. I just want the energy. But I remember even being embarrassed asking for that order.
You should be.
I was. I wanted to punch myself in the face every time I said it out loud. I swear to God. I was so embarrassed, but I was very fine-tuned into what I want. It was not nearly as bad.
I know, but go for it.
It was go for it. It was a matcha extra hot grande latte with soy milk, and then half of...
What do you mean extra hot? You have to put it back in the microwave?
I didn't like saying it either. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, I didn't like saying it either. What? Yes,
How do you make it extra hot? So after they pour it in there and they put all that garbage you said in there, then you got to put it in the microwave for
you? They don't put it in the microwave. They just make it extra hot. You know what, Al?
How do you make it extra hot?
They make it extra hot.
And then you drink it and then you go, whoa, this is too hot.
No, I like it. I like it when it scorches the tongue. Okay. I don't do that anymore. We got to go. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources. 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection in breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? How long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. We are taking a look into some of the most infamous cults and hearing from the people who escaped. Leslie Wagner Wilson found her way out of the People's Temple. She fled right before the Jonestown massacre and became free from the following. But first, we need to warn you that some of the images you're about to see are extremely graphic.
It's been more than 40 years since cult leader Jim Jones led his followers to commit mass suicide and murder. And Leslie Wagner Wilson is one of 11 followers who escaped from the People's Temple right before the infamous Jonestown massacre. At 18 years old, Leslie was a wife and a mother. That's when cult leader Jim Jones began summoning his followers to leave San Francisco and move to South America, where he built a compound in Guyana to create an idealistic commune. 918 people died in the 1978 Jonestown massacre. Prior to the 9/11 terrorist attacks, this tragedy was responsible for the greatest number of American deaths because of a single act with the intent to kill.
The compound that day, again, there was a little bit of panic. You could see it, especially in the leadership. Those in leadership, you knew something was wrong. Jim did not want Congressman Ryan to be in Jonestown. He did not want the visitors. He doesn't want anyone leaving because he is frightful that everything will be exposed. When we left, we were just prepared to die because we knew that if we got caught, then our punishment would be severe.
This tragedy is responsible for the phrase, drinking the Kool-Aid, something people say casually. But for Leslie, it triggers memories of escaping with her son, and the day she lost the rest of her entire family.
Leslie Wagner Wilson, thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. Okay, so as a child, what led your family and many others to join the People's Temple? We have so many questions.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And the reason why we joined People's Temple was because my sister, Michelle, had gotten involved in heavy, hard drugs. One of her friends told her about People's Temple and that they had this incredible youth drug program. And so that's how we initially started traveling from Santa Rosa to Ukiah to the services.
I appreciate you rooting this with us because you were a young mother when your family was instructed to move to Jonestown. And first your husband and son relocated to the compound in Guyana, and then you followed. So why did Jim Jones leave the country to build his perfect utopian society?
Well, originally the Jonestown was supposed to be just a place where you could go, you could travel, then work, and then come back to the United States. Once there was a group of people that left People's Temple, they were members, they went to New West Magazine and they started actually telling really what was happening behind closed doors. The beatings, the signing blank confessions. And so they exposed People's Temple to a point where Jim just could not, withstand the heat and possible criminal actions that would follow.
So Leslie, can you describe further what life was like on the compound, and did it ever change over time while you were there?
The community was beautiful. People loved each other. We were working long hours, 6 days a week from, 6 a.m. to sundown. On Sundays, we had this great dinner, music, entertainment. So in the beginning, it was nice because there wasn't an onslaught of people that came. Once the exodus started, there was not enough space. The conditions changed. Women and men had to use the outhouse together. Jim became more paranoid. So in months, the community started changing and the light started turning to darkness.
So when did you realize something wasn't right? What were some of the red flags in the beginning?
The first red flag was Jim, we were at a Sunday service in River Valley. We were mulling around the outside after the service was over, waiting for the next service to start, and we heard gunshots. And people hit the ground, and then people were saying, Jim, father's shot. Father's been shot. And so we went back into the building, and then all of a sudden Jim comes out and people are just in a frantic. But in front of him is this blood-soaked shirt that they had placed in a frame. And he goes to the podium and we're just like, oh my gosh, he's healed himself. But then he started talking about getting a Mercedes to protect himself. And then I thought, well, if you're supposed to have so much power, your supernatural power, why would you need a car to protect yourself? But I brushed those thoughts out because I thought, you don't have enough faith, and how are you doubting Father?
Wow. And Leslie, what was it like being in the presence of Jim Jones?
I feared him in the fact that I saw the brutality and the sadistic behavior that he had. So to me, he was not a loving person on all accounts. There was something very, very dark about him.
Leslie, you were only 22 when you escaped the Jonestown massacre. Tell us about that day and escaping.
That morning, there was a feeling in the air of quietness, almost surreal. So we started down up this hill, and they could see us from the ground, and I was waiting for the bullet to hit. I thought, there's no way they're not going to see us. All of us on that day were ready to die. It was a horrific day, but it was also a freedom walk. It wasn't until the wee hours of the morning that we were told that 500 had ran into the jungle and 500 were dead.
What lesson do you hope that we all learn from your story?
The lessons I hope that will be learned is that we all are seeking a safe place. We all are seeking love. We're seeking hope. We're seeking a balance. And so we have to be very careful on who we listen to. And so when you find yourself in an organization and there are red flags or your spirit is saying That's not right. Listen to that, because I call that your God sense. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it intuition, but we are innately built to respond and receive messages that will allow us to move forward in a safe way.
To our viewers out there, you can learn more about Leslie's harrowing story by picking up a copy of her book, Slavery of Faith. Find it on her website, lesliewagnerwilson.org. And again, Leslie, we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time and your experience.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. A majority of people don't enroll in life insurance because they think it's too expensive, but it's actually more affordable than you think. We're chatting about it in today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. Insurance companies base their rates on certain factors. So here's what you need to know. First, age. The younger you are, the lower your premium is. So don't wait until you're older to enroll. Second, gender. Life expectancy for women is about 5 years longer than men. And lastly, health and lifestyle. If you have a good medical history, no risky behavior, and a good driving record, you'll have a much lower premium. When it comes to quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. So call the Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even in the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now, all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
The most diverse team of voices in daytime.
We've really decided that representation matters, so I am here for it all.
Let's reach across the aisle, let's think about our children, and let's stop politicizing everything.
I think it's comical, to be honest with you, because people are losing their minds.
Sam, you missed the whole point.
I'm done. I think I can sing a great country song. When I'm hosting, I feel the most in. Oh, is it not supposed to be now?
I knew.
DBL is all new every day.
We really do not only have the most diverse panel, but we really love to poke at each other.
Yeah, that's not a poke sound.
What?
That's a weird sound. I didn't like that.
What was a poke?
No, it was off-putting. Do it again, Sam.
It was off-putting?
Yeah, that noise.
How would you say a poke sounded?
Ugh. Like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Like you're pushing into your dream guy's stomach?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we bring it around,
every day.
Sam.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
We're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the richest couples in the world, Bill and Melinda Gates, are calling it quits. And without a prenup, what's at stake in their multi-billion-dollar divorce? A photo is raising questions about a juror in the Derek Chauvin trial. Will his support for the Black Lives Matter movement mean grounds for an appeal? A woman escapes a cult, surviving the infamous Jonestown massacre.
All of us on that day were ready to die.
And Ben Affleck's bold response to a woman who unmatched him on a dating app.
Why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. And also, our friend Cameron Mathison will be here live in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. We cannot wait. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, May 4th. May the 4th be with y'all. Right. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. You know what, Al? I can't.
What?
Tori, Al's already giving me side glances. It's going to be an interesting day.
I would bet every dime that I have that Sam couldn't answer 3 basic Star Wars questions. 3 basic ones.
Okay, at some point,
yes,
we're going to do
it
that.
At some point.
At some point, we will have a little Star Wars trivia, and we'll see who's more of a Star Wars nerd. Okay, so as you may have heard, one of the richest couples in the world, they are getting divorced. Bill and Melinda Gates made the announcement yesterday, saying after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. The couple, who've been married for 27 years, have 3 kids together and a fortune estimated at about $124 billion, according to Forbes. They also have no prenup, according to court records, but they do have a whole lot of assets to divide, including their $66,000 square foot home in Washington, known as Xanadu, right?
That's it.
Worth a whopping $125 million. Oh, Xanadu 2.0 is the name. Okay, and then they have $125 million, I believe, in assets.
That's how much the house is worth.
Okay, I mean, look at that. I thought it was a resort. It's hard for me to read the prompter
because
I'm so
stuck. I don't know what we're looking at.
I'm looking at a resort in like Vail, Colorado. Yeah, that's a home, everybody. It's just one of at least 4 other properties around the country. And the couple also has a collection of cars, including this rare Porsche 959. It is believed they own a $65 million Gulfstream jet as well. And they famously purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Codex for $30 million back in '94.
That's dope.
That's crazy. Bill is also reportedly the biggest private owner of farmland in the U.S. with 242,000 acres across 18 states. Wow. Wow, wow. Okay, I feel like you have a lot to say.
Well, no, I don't think there's any tea to be had here. I think we want to look into like, how much does she get? How much do the kids get? There's too much money to take whatever you want. Take it, be happy with your life. How do you not be happy? This is like above anything we ever talk about. We want to make it something, but I don't think we can.
Yeah, Jeff, first of all, how much could somebody take where you would even notice? I think is the question. I look at this more just like, how did 2 people get all of this? And I wonder, when you think about all the employees that they've had, I understand that we have the upper 10% and then the 1% and then the 1% of the 1%, but wealth distribution does seem like it's out of whack a little bit. I'm not for, everybody gets equal, but that is so unequal.
Right.
For probably, no disrespect, the amount of work that they did. I don't know if anybody can do that much work in their lifetime. I just looking at that as a little grotesque to me, Tori. Am I wrong?
Tori, a lot of people, really quickly to Al's point, don't believe in billionaires. But let's boil it down to a lot of people at home. And I know a lot of you are thinking, how can I relate to 2 billionaires? And first and foremost, they have a separation agreement. They both have said that rich people should not waste money on divorce. So they're way ahead of everybody else. They have everything already divided up. Everything's taken care of. They know exactly how it's going to be broken down, even though they don't have a prenup, Tori. However, the people watching at home, they can understand these 2 people, despite their wealth, have decided to split up after their kids have left home. I think a lot of parents out there can relate to the fact that once their kids are out the door, maybe they don't have as much in common as they did 20 years prior.
Yeah, their youngest is 18. I think that's exactly what it is. And I don't think you're going to see an angry divorce. They already have this all worked out. But I will say this one thing is, at some point,
after 27 years, it's sometimes just you grow differently. And I think, as you said, that's super relatable. How many of you at home are understanding that sometimes we just go in different directions? Don't expect a lot of tea, as Jeff said. Expect a very civil way, and know that their kids are each only getting 10 million each only, and then the rest they're trying to give up before they pass away. So they're really great at giving away. Yeah.
Now they will continue to work together with their foundation.
Yes.
So to me, it seems like this is very amicable. Okay, so there's been a rather disturbing development in the Derek Chauvin trial, and it all comes down to this picture of a juror named Brandon Mitchell. You can see him wearing a shirt that says "Get your knee off our necks" and BLM. And also wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. The photo was taken at an event to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech this past August in D.C. So here's the problem. As part of jury selection, he was asked questions about attending demonstrations or marches against police brutality. He answered no to those questions and has defended his participation, saying it was related to MLK's March on Washington, not about George Floyd's death. Mitchell also says he does not recall wearing or owning the shirt. Some say Derek Chauvin can point to the picture to argue he was denied his right to an impartial jury and may be grounds for an appeal or even overturning the case. Tori, what do you make of this development?
It's not good, Sam. It's very bad to lie to a judge. And if people are questioning what the actual questions to the jury was, one was about, did you ever protest for George Floyd in Minneapolis? But there was a second question that I need you to know. It says, other than what you have already described, have you or anyone close to you participated in protests about police use of force or police brutality? He said no to that. Well, the problem is when you have a shirt that says "Get off our necks," that is so directly related to George Floyd, it's going to be hard to argue that that wasn't lying to the judge. And I don't want this to be true. But if he did lie, that can be a mistrial, that can go to appeal, and he can be put away for perjury since that's under oath. It doesn't look good.
Tori, can I ask you, I mean, obviously your father has a background in law. Would this be up to the judge's discretion in terms of an appeal? Because I'm assuming there's a lot of nuance, because I listened to the longer form interview that he gave. It was about 27 minutes, and he said he was at a rally where, yes, there was BLM and George Floyd discussions going on, but it was about getting out the vote because people didn't just want to complain, they wanted to be proactive. So would that be enough nuance for a judge to potentially not hear this appeal because of that?
Well, an appellate court is the one that accepts whether or not they hear the appeal. A judge can maybe order a mistrial. Here's the problem, though. The shirt had MLK on it. He was at an MLK rally. All of that can be argued. It's the phrase for me that says, "Get off our necks." That's a very specific phrase that came out of the George Floyd protest about police brutality, and he should have brought it up, in my opinion. I wish and hope this doesn't do anything, but it's not great.
We'll be following it, and I'm sure the rest of the world will be too. Coming up on DBL, one woman is taking us inside one of the most notorious cults ever, Jonestown, from life with Jim Jones to her daring escape. Don't miss the start of our series, free from the following cult survivor stories. Plus, we're talking live with our friend. There he is, Cameron Mathison. Hey! He's telling us all about his return to soaps, you guys, and our medical expert, Dr. Piocoli, is breaking down the latest COVID-19 headlines. Don't go away.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection in breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? How long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. We're here for you every day, DBL Nation, with just the facts and answers to your COVID-19 questions. But today, we came up with some of our very own questions based on our scenarios that we've encountered. So Dr. Piocoli joins us live. Hey, doctor. So my first question is about vaccine etiquette. Is it rude to ask someone if they're vaccinated, whether you know them or not? What would you say?
Such an important question, Sam. So I would say the real question to ask yourself is, why are you asking? If you're asking in order to keep your interaction safe, then it's completely reasonable to ask. But if you're just being a nosy Parker and trying to be curious, then you don't want to get into their protected health information. Now, keep in mind, it is their information, so it's their decision whether they want to share it with you or not. If you do ask, try to ask in an indirect fashion. So rather than saying, hey, show me that vaccine card, you may want to say, oh, this was my vaccine experience, what was yours? And that's kind of an indirect way of getting the information out of them. But I have to say, Sam, the politest thing to do is to volunteer the information. So now when I meet anyone new, I say, hi, I'm Pyle, I'm fully vaccinated.
I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I like it. All right, Doc, my name's Jeff, and I'm fully vaccinated. So I'm going to start with my question. What's the deal with going to a restaurant, you walk in with your mask, you sit down, nobody's wearing a mask when they sit down, and then if you have to go to the bathroom, you put your mask back on. Is that necessary? And I'm only speaking, I guess, to vaccinated people, but I want your opinion on that.
Yeah, a question that I've seen commonly, Jeff, and it's hard to know what restaurant etiquette should be in the setting of this mixed vaccination. So I would say, yes, it's still necessary for a couple of reasons. One, by wearing the mask, Jeff, even though you're fully vaccinated, you are protecting yourself and you're protecting the unvaccinated people in the restaurant. Two, you're respecting the public health guidance. So if there is a mask mandate in indoor settings in your state, it is the right thing to do to wear the mask when you're not eating. But three, and most importantly, I think it adds to your whole movie star allure if you put on the mask and put on some sunglasses and walk to the bathroom.
You should have just started with that one, and I would have been all on board. But yeah, I'm on board. Good answer.
Now he's glowing. Good job, Dr. Coley.
Now, Doc, there's been a lot of talk about young people and vaccines lately. So I have a scenario. Now, it's hard to believe I'm not 21 in this scenario, although I look it. But this is an imaginary person.
You do.
If I'm 21 and I've never been sick a day in my life, do I need to worry about getting the vaccine as much as an older person?
So it's true that if you're 21 and you're healthy, your risk of dying from this infection is very, very low. But you still need to go and get that vaccine, because if you do get the infection, you could infect somebody else. You could have long COVID, which could affect your life, forever. You could have complications like infertility, mental health complications, a whole host of other things. So this is a bad infection. You don't want to get it, and we have the secret sauce now to prevent you from getting it. So yes, no matter what your age, you need to get that vaccine.
Does that same thing apply to me because I look like I'm 21?
Okay.
And what was that
It
third
especially
one?
applies if you look...
Wow.
Doc, what was that? The movie star thing you said?
can't.
What was that? With the mask? So,
I mean, we're two stars here.
Yeah,
We can't go out in public. We can't go to the mall. There'll be a riot.
There
would be. All right, Dr. Cole, we appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Doc.
Coming up on DBL, our friend, TV host, and actor, there he is,
Yes.
Cameron Mathison. Yes, he's back and chatting with us live coming up next. Yeah, buddy.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Cameron Mathison, longtime friend of our show, is known for his Hallmark movies. And you all know how much I love me a good Hallmark movie. His TV shows and his long stint as a soap star. And he's joining us today with exciting news. Hey, about his next steps.
Hey.
Cameron Mathison, welcome back.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Cam?
You look
Great
like
to see you guys.
So good to see you. We were just talking about that you look like you're in a magical forest, which is it suits you.
I kind of am in a magical forest. I'm doing a 2-week quarantine up in Canada before I shoot my next Hallmark movie. And I actually found this quarantine location myself for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to find a magical forest, which is not easy to find. And number two, I've got a huge 80-yard chipping area out. Can you see it over there? You can't. There you go. I'm chipping balls over here. I'm hitting golf balls.
What? Jeff is so jealous. I see it right now, and I'm loving it. Okay, so before we get into your big news about your next TV role, give us an update on your health. You beat kidney cancer over a year ago. We are so proud of you. Tell us about your health now, how you stay fit. We also heard you gave up coffee. Give us all the details.
So part of this, I figured the only chance for me to give up coffee, by the way, coffee's not bad. I was just overdoing it. I figured I'd lock myself in a cabin in the mountains with no coffee, and maybe I could then finally give it up. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. My 1-year MRI came back completely clear, so 1 year down, hopefully many to go. I feel excellent, super healthy. I've got my energy back and my strength back, and I'm, I couldn't be more grateful. I'm really lucky.
Cam, everyone knows I got a mush on you. I got a man crush on you, buddy. Everyone knows that. I follow you on
Back at you, brother. Back at you.
Yes. I follow you on Instagram, and you're always doing goofy stuff. You still have teenage daughters. You're dancing with your daughter, Vanessa. What else do you do to embarrass them? Am I embarrassed by you, Cam, or did I look at that. That doesn't seem embarrassed.
Listen. I love that you called her my daughter. I don't know if that was just a slip up or not, but that happened to be my wife. But I'm going to tell her you called her her daughter. Anyway.
I was like,
because it got weird. I don't have a prompter over here, and I saw Vanessa, so thank God you corrected me, because I'm like, that's some salsa dancing with your daughter. So
that would have been really weird, dude. This interview would have gone a whole different direction. No, that's my wife.
That was his wife.
Because Cam, I'm just going to say this as an observer. I'm seeing Jeff asking that question. I'm like, oh, your daughter's beautiful and young, and now I was like, that's a little, and then I was like, well, that's cool, and I was like, oh no. So it was just a slow sequence. So thank you for clearing that up. So we're still in the air today. All right. And
Yeah, man. No, we embarrass our kids every possible way that we can. That is for sure. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I've got like host voice a lot of the time wherever I go. So me being loud in public is a way that I'll embarrass the kids. I'll embarrass them by just like kind of, confronting people in a tricky situation. I'm the guy who kind of like talks about it with people, and I do it in a nice way, I hope, but that absolutely embarrasses them to no end. And there's just so many ways. There's just so many ways. I just have to get up out of bed in the morning and I embarrass them.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed myself right now.
But it's just like, can we lose the embarrassing? Oh, that's my embarrassing dad that looks like a model who's on a soap opera that beat cancer in a year.
I know.
And is the most driven person you ever meet. So dirty. Like what?
On that note, but the number one thing I can do to cause a problem with my kids is if I post a picture without full photo approval on social media. Like that is the absolute deal breaker dad move. My stock as a dad plummets once I do something like that. So that's the main thing.
They will fix the lighting. I'll give them that. All right. Obviously, we're talking about
Al's embarrassed.
Yes. Obviously, we're talking about your parenting roles that you've had on TV, and you've landed a new one. Congratulations. As an Emmy-nominated soap star, you're back in your familiar waters, joining GH, General Hospital. Tell us, what excites you most about returning to soaps?
I mean, a lot of things. It's literally one of the greatest jobs in the world. When I was on All My Children, I loved it, and gone off, done a bunch of different things. But the number one thing I think about going back is that family feel, working every day as an actor. Also, on some level, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot more hosting these days, with Home and Family and Entertainment Tonight and things that I've done in the last several years. And there's something a little bit more kind of grounding and just kind of, I don't know, more relaxed about working as an actor every day, like up here on a movie coming up, and then I'm going right into General Hospital. So I'm looking forward to that too. It's just, it's a little lower stress, I think, for me.
Lower stress. Jeff, you said it's a very stressful being on set.
It is a little stressful, but I mean, it's what you're comfortable with. You're on set right now for your new Hallmark movie, right, Cam?
Yeah, I'm about to shoot it in a couple weeks. But, when I say lower stress, I mean, like, for me, memorizing words, and you got to do like 30 pages of dialogue every day, and you got to knock it out. You get one take. It's like severely under-rehearsed live theater every night. But for me, that's what I started in. Like I did 15 years of that. That's very, very comfortable for me. I can memorize those pages in the morning over breakfast and then kind of go in and be myself. Whereas I feel like, hosting or presenting, there's just a different energy about it, a different prep and material. And so for me, I mean, I love both, and I'll still be continuing to do both. But it's hopefully, I say this now, but I heard it's been 10 years since I've done daytime, and I hear it's changed a lot. So if I get in there and I start freaking out, I'm going to be calling you guys. Being like, remember what I said?
Good. Yeah. We love to witness those freakouts, so please give us a call. Cam, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, don't forget to check out Cameron's Instagram, devoted to health and wellness, All Health 360, and stay tuned as more gets revealed about his new role on General Hospital.
Yes.
And, of course, the Hallmark movie coming out. We appreciate you, Cam. Have a great day.
Always good to see you, buddy.
I love you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Love you, too. We'll be
you.
right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The pandemic's taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even into the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Tomorrow on DBL, the desperate search for a missing mother of 3. As time runs out, her family is begging for answers.
Please bring her home. We need our sister.
Don't miss this all-new True Crime Chronicles only on DBL.
Wow. If you are leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A woman who actually escaped Jonestown is sharing her harrowing journey with us. It's the start of our new series, Free from the Following, Cult Survivor Stories. Plus, Mark Wahlberg is taking a new acting role very seriously. Wait till you hear how many pounds he packed on. And thank you to our coworkers watching from home right now. There they are. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam, here with Jeff and Al. Tori joins us from home. So when it comes to dating, it appears Ben Affleck doesn't take no for an answer. A social media influencer went viral after claiming she was matched with Ben on the exclusive dating app Raya. She thought it was fake, so she unmatched him, but then revealed on TikTok that Ben sent her a video message on Instagram to prove it was him. Have a look.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Ew, that was creepy. Was
Why?
that not creepy the way he said it? I thought it was creepy.
What if it was the guy we love? Why am I freezing a brain freeze?
Cillian Murphy?
No, Bill Murray.
Well, Bill Murray I wouldn't want to match with. I just want to hang out with. But if you're talking about Cillian Murphy from
Peaky Blinders. I'm still
Peaky
reeling from
Blinders.
telling one of my mentors that he's dancing with his daughter in the kitchen.
I know. Sorry. Tori, did you not think that was creepy, Tori, the way he said it? I have no problem with him saying, hey, I'm not being catfished. This is me. But the way he said it came off creepy to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked it.
Of course you did.
I liked it a lot. I liked it. I thought it was great. And I thought, what so frustrating to miss your moment with the Affleck. And now J-Lo's got him, so it's over.
See,
we don't know.
I would argue she
J-Lo's
didn't miss her
got
moment.
him.
First of all, super boo to her.
Why?
Super boo. Why is she putting his business on TikTok when he discreetly messaged her on a dating site that is reserved for people that do have some kind of celebrity or status in which they want to protect for whatever reason? There's a process to getting into Raya.
It was a clout chase.
And and so I just thought that she took that as an opportunity to get some more followers as opposed to like trying to find love. I'm not saying he was.
No, that was shady of her. I'm with you there. Shady.
She's a comedian though, so this is kind of like her style.
There was nothing funny about that. She's a comedian?
Well, then who cares?
Yeah,
you're using that term loosely.
Thank
Poor
you.
Al is offended over here.
Yeah, I don't see her on the road.
Sorry.
Tori. Sorry, Tori. I love you, Tori. Okay, this is weird.
Let's move on.
What's happening? Okay, it looks like dad bods are all the rage with some celebrity men. Yesterday, we showed you this photo of Will Smith where he claimed to be in the worst shape of his life. Now, Mark Wahlberg has also packed on the pounds. He shared a before and after photo of his ripped body, and then one looking a little heavier just 3 weeks later. The weight gain is for a movie role, though. He plays a boxer turned priest in the upcoming film Father Stew. Tori, what do you really, and I know we've had this conversation before, but for some reason, Al and Jeff never believe us. What do you think about Mark's dad bod and just dad bod in general? Don't listen to Jeff and Al.
Okay, and I want this to be really clear. When at least from me, right, when I see someone as ripped as Mark Wahlberg in the previous picture, what I see is someone that has no time for me because they're always at the gym. Yes, it looks nice on a magazine cover, but do I want to cuddle up with it? Do I want to nestle in? No. I prefer someone doughier and also someone who has more time for me. Does that make sense?
To me, it does.
Stop it. Stop this nonsense of I'd rather see a dad bod at the pool than a nice guy who takes care of himself. This is nonsense.
No,
These surveys are out of control. Do you like a dad bod? Yes. Did you vote for Donald Trump? No. Do you like Beyonce? Yes. That's all you answer on these surveys. Nobody tells the truth. Everyone's a liar. Don't tell me you think a big gigantic Mark Wahlberg is better than an in-shape Mark Wahlberg.
First of all, you mentioned the pool. Of course, I'm only going to speak for myself, so I can't generalize, but if I saw a ripped bod at the pool, I may ogle. Now, somebody that I want to marry or date, I don't want to have a ripped bod because to Tori's point, it comes off narcissistic.
Where are all the body shamers, Jeff? Like, people get so, if somebody, a celebrity that was heavy, loses weight, they get attacked online. If somebody gets healthy, they get praise online. But when somebody is healthy, I feel like they are open, it's open season to attack them for the way that they look. You guys are prejudging this man because he has an 8-pack.
Him. We're saying he looks
You're saying you
cute.
wouldn't marry him. That's prejudging.
No, we never said, okay.
And first of all, any dude out there, good luck telling your partner they look doughy and that's why you love them.
Well, this leads us to our next story.
This will be the last DBL you ever see.
This leads us into our next story. So good news for men who don't think that they can achieve Mark's before picture. According to a dating expert, looks aren't what make men attractive to women, okay? The expert polled single women on her Facebook page and asked them to reveal traits they find most attractive in a potential partner. Well, guess what? It turns out the majority of ladies said looks just played a small part. Instead, the women said traits like chivalry, a good personality, a sense of humor make men attractive. They also want a man who has respect and values. They are attracted to men who display honesty and confidence way over 6-packs. Fully agree with this. That's the difference. They always say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are much more driven by attractive physicality. Women are driven by what's within. If you make me feel good, empowered, and uplifted, I'm putty in your hands. Does that make sense?
Putty, you mean from their fat backs?
I do, Jeff, it blows my mind that money and status never figure into this conversation. It seems like you're calling people a gold digger, but it's not even mentioned. It's like we don't even use the M word. We don't say money when we know that guys with money have a much larger opportunity to have the mate of their choice. Let's just keep it 100. And it's never on this list. It's always honesty and trust, like it's the Knights of the Round Table.
Tori, that's not true. Tori and I can speak to that. Tori, we've often been the breadwinners in most of our relationships. That's not true. Go, Tori.
Tori, money has nothing to do with it, Tori.
I do think that money is important in terms of structure and stability, but men are visual, and a lot of the time they care about what Sam said, the physicality. And I gotta be honest with you, if a guy is funny and a guy can take care of me, I'm gonna tell you that is such a turn on, and I'm not saying this to look good. It is a turn on deep down in my soul because that's genetically how I was made.
You know what's a turn off? 4 straight Uber pools.
What?
All right.
What does that mean?
That means you don't have your own Uber. All right, it's terrible. I've been broke. You don't want to be in an Uber with 3 different randoms.
We've all been broke.
Yes, but I'm saying that's not a turn on. Being comfortable, having your own space, having your the decision of like, can we go on vacation? Can we afford to go to a restaurant tonight? That helps with the happiness in your relationship. And you guys are talking about honesty.
Honesty is by far superior. Okay, so
you can't just say that and it's over.
Well, I have to get to the next story.
Okay. Well, then you
She's
can.
the host. A recent Starbucks order has gone viral. A barista posted it on Twitter. It's a caramel crunch frappuccino with 5 bananas, extra caramel drizzle, extra whip, extra ice, 7 pumps of dark caramel sauce, extra caramel crunch. The list goes on. Other baristas responded with photos of their ridiculous orders, like this one. This one asks for cold foam, cocoa powder, vanilla-scented cold foam, 3 pumps caramel sauce, 2 pumps vanilla. It also wants sugar, stevia, and equal in the same drink. Yikes.
These are people who have no friends, and then their only socialization is just going to Starbucks and making these ridiculous orders.
Or they're just really fine-tuning what they like.
No friends.
Because that wasn't your order before Starbucks allowed you to do that. Nobody ever did that at a diner. You know, like that was just something. It's like, oh, I can do that. It's kind of. We've all waited tables. I think that we have had people that are like, I want the lemon on the side, the garnish at the top of the plate, ketchup in a cup, and so I think we know these people, but in the food setting.
Yeah, this is the person that wears a fake ace bandage on their wrist, so they're like, what happened to your wrist? Oh, you'll never believe what happened. I get 6 pumps of whatever.
Tori, go ahead.
No, I just wondered, is there anything to being, I think people in this day and age really like very personalized orders. I think they like the ability to masterfully find and fine-tune their order because everything is now accessible that way, and I think it's like a new trend. Is that not fair?
No, Tori, did you ever wear a
just
fake
have no
ace
friends?
bandage so someone asks you what happened?
No. No, she would never. I will say, listen, I used to be quite extensive with my Starbucks order before I had kids. Now that I have kids, I just don't have time. I'm like, whatever, give me a shot of espresso. I just want the energy. But I remember even being embarrassed asking for
What
that
was
order.
it?
You should be.
I wanted to punch myself in the face every time I said it out loud. I swear to God, I was so embarrassed, but
Now
I
I
was
gotta
very
hear it.
fine-tuned into
was
what
it?
I want. It was not nearly as bad.
I know, but go for it.
It was a go for it. It was a matcha extra hot grande latte with soy milk, and then half of.
What do you mean extra hot? You have to put it back in the microwave?
I didn't like saying it either. You don't have to say, "Oh my gosh," I didn't like saying it either. What? Yes.
How do you make it extra hot? So after they pour it in there and they put all that garbage you said in there, then you got to put it in the microwave for
They
you?
don't put it in the microwave. They just make it extra hot. You know what, Al?
How do you make it extra hot?
They make it extra hot.
And then you drink it and then you go, whoa, this is too hot.
No, I like it when it scorches the tongue. Okay. I don't do that anymore. We got to go. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes, absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection in breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? You know, how long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. We are taking a look into some of the most infamous cults and hearing from the people who escaped. Leslie Wagner Wilson found her way out of the People's Temple. She fled right before the Jonestown massacre and became free from the following. But first, we need to warn you that some of the images you're about to see are extremely graphic.
It's been more than 40 years since cult leader Jim Jones led his followers to commit mass suicide and murder. And Leslie Wagner Wilson is one of 11 followers who escaped from the People's Temple right before the infamous Jonestown massacre. At 18 years old, Leslie was a wife and a mother. That's when cult leader Jim Jones began summoning his followers to leave San Francisco and move to South America, where he built a compound in Guyana to create an idealistic commune. 918 people died in the 1978 Jonestown massacre. Prior to the 9/11 terrorist attacks, this tragedy was responsible for the greatest number of American deaths because of a single act with the intent to kill.
The compound that day, again, there was a little bit of panic. You could see it, especially in the leadership. Those in leadership, you knew something was wrong. Jim did not want Congressman Ryan to be in Jonestown. He did not want the visitors. He doesn't want anyone leaving because he is frightful that everything will be exposed. When we left, we were just prepared to die because we knew that if we got caught, then our punishment would be severe.
This tragedy is responsible for the phrase, drinking the Kool-Aid, something people say casually. But for Leslie, it triggers memories of escaping with her son and the day she lost the rest of her entire family.
Leslie Wagner Wilson, thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. Okay, so as a child, what led your family and many others to join the People's Temple? We have so many questions.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And the reason why we joined People's Temple was because my sister, Michelle, had gotten involved in heavy, hard drugs. One of her friends told her about People's Temple and that they had this incredible youth drug program. And so that's how we initially started traveling from Santa Rosa to Ukiah to the services.
I appreciate you rooting this with us because you were a young mother when your family was instructed to move to Jonestown. And first your husband and son relocated to the compound in Guyana, and then you followed. So why did Jim Jones leave the country to build his perfect utopian society?
Well, originally the Jonestown was supposed to be just a place where you could go, you could travel, then work, and then come back to the United States. Once there was a group of people that left People's Temple, they were members, they went to New West Magazine and they started actually telling really what was happening behind closed doors. The beatings, the signing blank confessions. And so they exposed People's Temple to a point where Jim just could not, withstand the heat and possible criminal actions that would follow.
So Leslie, can you describe further what life was like on the compound, and did it ever change over time while you were there?
The community was beautiful. People loved each other. We were working long hours, 6 days a week from, 6 a.m. to sundown. On Sundays, we had this great dinner, music, entertainment. So in the beginning, it was nice because there wasn't an onslaught of people that came. Once the exodus started, there was not enough space. The conditions changed. Women and men had to use the outhouse together. Jim became more paranoid. So in months, the community started changing and the light started turning to darkness.
So when did you realize something wasn't right? What were some of the red flags in the beginning?
The first red flag was Jim, we were at a Sunday service in River Valley. We were mulling around the outside after the service was over, waiting for the next service to start, and we heard gunshots. And people hit the ground, and then people were saying, Jim, father's shot. Father's been shot. And so we went back into the building, and then all of a sudden Jim comes out and people are just in a frantic. But in front of him is this blood-soaked shirt that they had placed in a frame. And he goes to the podium and we're just like, oh my gosh, he's healed himself. But then he started talking about getting a Mercedes to protect himself. And then I thought, well, if you're supposed to have so much power, your supernatural power, why would you need a car to protect yourself? But I brushed those thoughts out because I thought, you don't have enough faith, and how are you doubting Father?
Wow. And Leslie, what was it like being in the presence of Jim Jones?
I feared him in the fact that I saw the brutality and the sadistic behavior that he had. So to me, he was not a loving person on all accounts. There was something very, very dark about him.
Leslie, you were only 22 when you escaped the Jonestown massacre. Tell us about that day and escaping.
That morning, there was a feeling in the air of quietness, almost surreal. So we started down up this hill, and they could see us from the ground, and I was waiting for the bullet to hit. I thought, there's no way they're not going to see us. All of us on that day were ready to die. It was a horrific day, but it was also a freedom walk. It wasn't until the wee hours of the morning that we were told that 500 had ran into the jungle and 500 were dead.
What lesson do you hope that we all learn from your story?
The lessons I hope that will be learned is that we all are seeking a safe place. We all are seeking love. We're seeking hope. We're seeking a balance. And so we have to be very careful on who we listen to. And so when you find yourself in an organization and there are red flags or your spirit is saying, that's not right, listen to that. Because I call that your God sense. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it intuition, but we are innately built to respond and receive messages that will allow us to move forward in a safe way.
To our viewers out there, you can learn more about Leslie's harrowing story by picking up a copy of her book, Slavery of Faith. Find it on her website, lesliewagnerwilson.org. And again, Leslie, we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time and your experience.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.
We all know that movement. Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. A majority of people don't enroll on life insurance because they think it's too expensive, but it's actually more affordable than you think. We're chatting about it in today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. Insurance companies base their rates on certain factors. So here's what you need to know. First, age. The younger you are, the lower your premium is. So don't wait until you're older to enroll. Second, gender. Life expectancy for women is about 5 years longer than men. And lastly, health and lifestyle. If you have a good medical history, no risky behavior, and a good driving record, you'll have a much lower premium. When it comes to quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. So call the Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even into the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
The most diverse team of voices in daytime.
We've really decided that representation matters, so I am here for it all.
Let's reach across the aisle, let's think about our children, and let's stop politicizing everything.
I think it's comical, to be honest with you, because people are losing their minds.
Sam, you missed the whole point.
I'm done. I think I can sing a great country song. When I'm hosting, I feel the most in. Oh, is it not supposed to be now?
I knew.
DBL is all new every day.
We really do not only have the most diverse panel, but we really love to poke at each other.
Yeah, that's not a poke sound.
What?
That's a weird sound. I didn't like that.
What was a poke?
No, it was off-putting. Do it again, Sam.
It was off-putting?
Yeah, that noise.
How would you say a poke sounded?
Ugh. Like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Like you're pushing into your dream guy's stomach?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we bring it around,
every day.
Sam.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
One of the richest couples in the world, Bill and Melinda Gates, are calling it quits. And without a prenup, what's at stake in their multi-billion-dollar divorce? A photo is raising questions about a juror in the Derek Chauvin trial. Will his support for the Black Lives Matter movement mean grounds for an appeal? A woman escapes a cult, surviving the infamous Jonestown massacre.
All of us on that day were ready to die.
And Ben Affleck's bold response to a woman who unmatched him on a dating app.
Why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. And also, our friend Cameron Mathison will be here live in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. We cannot wait. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, May 4th. May the 4th be with y'all. Right. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. You know what, Al? I can't.
What?
Tori, Al's already giving me side glances. It's going to be an interesting day.
I would bet every dime that I have that Sam couldn't answer 3 basic Star Wars questions. 3 basic ones.
Okay, at some point, we're going to do
it
that.
at some point.
At some point, we will have a little Star Wars trivia, and we'll see who's more of a Star Wars nerd. Okay, so as you may have heard, one of the richest couples in the world, they are getting divorced. Bill and Melinda Gates made the announcement yesterday, saying after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. The couple, who've been married for 27 years, have 3 kids together and a fortune estimated at about $124 billion, according to Forbes. They also have no prenup, according to court records, but they do have a whole lot of assets to divide, including their $66,000 square foot home in Washington, known as Xanadu, right?
That's it.
Worth a whopping $125 million. Oh, Xanadu 2.0 is the name. Okay, and then they have $125 million, I believe, in assets.
That's how much the house is worth.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, look at that. I thought that was a resort. It's hard for me to read the prompter
it's
because
hard
I'm so
to even.
stuck.
I don't know what we're looking at.
I'm
two
looking
people
at
own this.
a resort in like Vail,
That's
Colorado.
a home.
Yeah, that's a home, everybody. It's just one of at least 4 other properties around the country, and the couple also has a collection of cars, including this rare Porsche 959. It is believed they own a $65 million Gulfstream jet as well, and they famously purchased Leonardo da Vinci's Codex for $30 million back in '94.
That's dope.
That's crazy. Bill is also reportedly the biggest private owner of farmland in the U.S. with 242,000 acres across 18 states. Wow. Wow, wow. Okay, I feel like you have a lot to say.
Well, no, I don't think there's any tea to be had here. I think we want to look into like, how much does she get? How much do the kids get? There's too much money to take whatever you want. Take it, be happy with your life. How do you not be happy? This is like above anything we ever talk about. We want to make it something, but I don't think we can.
Yeah, Jeff, first of all, how much could somebody take where you would even notice? I think is the question. I look at this more just like, how did 2 people get all of this? And I wonder, when you think about all the employees that they've had, I understand that we have the upper 10% and then the 1% and then the 1% of the 1%, but wealth distribution does seem like it's out of whack a little bit. I'm not for, everybody gets equal, but that is so unequal.
Right.
For probably, no disrespect, the amount of work that they did. I don't know if anybody can do that much work in their lifetime. I just looking at that as a little grotesque to me, Tori. Am I wrong?
Tori, a lot of people, really quickly to Al's point, don't believe in billionaires. But let's boil it down to a lot of people at home. And I know a lot of you are thinking, how can I relate to 2 billionaires? And first and foremost, they have a separation agreement. They both have said that rich people should not waste money on divorce. So they're way ahead of everybody else. They have everything already divided up. Everything's taken care of. They know exactly how it's going to be broken down, even though they don't have a prenup, Tori. However, the people watching at home, they can understand these 2 people, despite their wealth, have decided to split up after their kids have left home. I think a lot of parents out there can relate to the fact that once their kids are out the door, maybe they don't have as much in common as they did 20 years prior.
Yeah, their youngest is 18. I think that's exactly what it is. And I don't think you're going to see an angry divorce. They already have this all worked out. But I will say this one thing is, at some point, after 27 years, it's sometimes just you grow differently. And I think, as you said, that's super relatable. How many of you at home are understanding that sometimes we just go in different directions? Don't expect a lot of tea, as Jeff said. Expect a very civil way, and know that their kids are each only getting $10 million each only, and then the rest they're trying to give up before they pass away. So
Only 10 mil.
they're really great at
Only
giving
10
away.
mil.
Yeah.
Now they will continue to work together with their foundation.
Yes.
So to me, it seems like this is very amicable. Okay, so there's been a rather disturbing development in the Derek Chauvin trial, and it all comes down to this picture of a juror named Brandon Mitchell. You can see him wearing a shirt that says "Get your knee off our necks" and BLM, and also wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. The photo was taken at an event to commemorate Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech this past August in D.C. So here's the problem. As part of jury selection, he was asked questions about attending demonstrations or marches against police brutality. He answered no to those questions and has defended his participation, saying it was related to MLK's March on Washington, not about George Floyd's death. Mitchell also says he does not recall wearing or owning the shirt. Some say Derek Chauvin can point to the picture to argue he was denied his right to an impartial jury and may be grounds for an appeal or even overturning the case. Tori, what do you make of this development?
It's not good, Sam. It's very bad to lie to a judge. And if people are questioning what the actual questions to the jury was, one was about, did you ever protest for George Floyd in Minneapolis? But there was a second question that I need you to know. It says, other than what you have already described, have you or anyone close to you participated in protests about police use of force or police brutality? He said no to that. Well, the problem is when you have a shirt that says "Get off our necks," that is so directly related to George Floyd, it's going to be hard to argue that that wasn't lying to the judge. And I don't want this to be true. But if he did lie, that can be a mistrial, that can go to appeal, and he can be put away for perjury since that's under oath. It doesn't look good.
Tori, can I ask you, I mean, obviously your father has a background in law. Would this be up to the judge's discretion in terms of an appeal? Because I'm assuming there's a lot of nuance, because I listened to the longer form interview that he gave. It was about 27 minutes, and he said he was at a rally where, yes, there was BLM and George Floyd discussions going on, but it was about getting out the vote because people didn't just want to complain, they wanted to be proactive. So would that be enough nuance for a judge to potentially not hear this appeal because of that?
Well, an appellate court is the one that accepts whether or not they hear the appeal. A judge can maybe order a mistrial. Here's the problem, though. The shirt had MLK on it. He was at an MLK rally. All of that can be argued. It's the phrase for me that says, "Get off our necks." That's a very specific phrase that came out of the George Floyd protest about police brutality, and he should have brought it up, in my opinion. I wish and hope this doesn't do anything, but it's not great.
We'll be following it, and I'm sure the rest of the world will be too. Coming up on DBL, one woman is taking us inside one of the most notorious cults ever, Jonestown, from life with Jim Jones to her daring escape. Don't miss the start of our series, free from the following cult survivor stories. Plus, we're talking live with our friend. There he is, Cameron Mathison. Hey! He's telling us all about his return to soaps, you guys, and our medical expert, Dr. Piacoli, is breaking down the latest COVID-19 headlines. Don't go away.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection in breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? How long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. We're here for you every day, DBL Nation, with just the facts and answers to your COVID-19 questions. But today, we came up with some of our very own questions based on our scenarios that we've encountered. So Dr. Piocoli joins us live. Hey, doctor. So my first question is about vaccine etiquette. Is it rude to ask someone if they're vaccinated, whether you know them or not? What would you say?
Such an important question, Sam. So I would say the real question to ask yourself is, why are you asking? If you're asking in order to keep your interaction safe, then it's completely reasonable to ask. But if you're just being a nosy Parker and trying to be curious, then you don't want to get into their protected health information. Now, keep in mind, it is their information, so it's their decision whether they want to share it with you or not. If you do ask, try to ask in an indirect fashion. So rather than saying, hey, show me that vaccine card, you may want to say, oh, this was my vaccine experience, what was yours? And that's kind of an indirect way of getting the information out of them. But I have to say, Sam, the politest thing to do is to volunteer the information. So now when I meet anyone new, I say, hi, I'm Pyle, I'm fully vaccinated.
I love it.
There you go. Yeah, I like it. All right, Doc, my name's Jeff, and I'm fully vaccinated. So I'm going to start with my question. What's the deal with going to a restaurant, you walk in with your mask, you sit down, nobody's wearing a mask when they sit down, and then if you have to go to the bathroom, you put your mask back on. Is that necessary? And I'm only speaking, I guess, to vaccinated people, but I want your opinion on that.
Yeah, a question that I've seen commonly, Jeff, and it's hard to know what restaurant etiquette should be in the setting of this mixed vaccination. So I would say, yes, it's still necessary for a couple of reasons. One, by wearing the mask, Jeff, even though you're fully vaccinated, you are protecting yourself and you're protecting the unvaccinated people in the restaurant. Two, you're respecting the public health guidance. So if there is a mask mandate in indoor settings in your state, it is the right thing to do to wear the mask when you're not eating. But three, and most importantly, I think it adds to your whole movie star allure if you put on the mask and put on some sunglasses and walk to the bathroom.
You should have just started with that one, and I would have been all on board. But yeah, I'm on board. Good answer.
Now he's glowing. Good job, Dr. Coley.
Now, Doc, there's been a lot of talk about young people and vaccines lately. So I have a scenario. Now, it's hard to believe I'm not 21 in this scenario, although I look it. But this is an imaginary person.
You do.
If I'm 21 and I've never been sick a day in my life, do I need to worry about getting the vaccine as much as an older person?
So it's true that if you're 21 and you're healthy, your risk of dying from this infection is very, very low. But you still need to go and get that vaccine, because if you do get the infection, you could infect somebody else. You could have long COVID, which could affect your life, forever. You could have complications like infertility, mental health complications, a whole host of other things. So this is a bad infection. You don't want to get it, and we have the secret sauce now to prevent you from getting it. So yes, no matter what your age, you need to get that vaccine.
Does that same thing apply to me because I look like I'm 21?
Okay.
And what was that
It
third
especially applies if you look.
Wow.
Doc, what was that? The movie star thing you said?
can't.
What was that? With the mask? So,
You see what I
we're
did?
two stars here.
Yeah,
You know,
me and Al,
Sam, we can't go out in public. We can't go to the mall. There'll be a riot.
There would be.
All right, Dr. Cole, we appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Doc.
Coming up on DBL, our friend, TV host, and actor, there he is,
Yes.
Cameron Mathison. Yes, he's back and chatting with us live coming up next. Yeah, buddy.
How's she doing?
Better now.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Cameron Mathison, longtime friend of our show, is known for his Hallmark movies, and you all know how much I love me a good Hallmark movie, his TV shows, and his long stint as a soap star. And he's joining us today with exciting news. Hey, about his next steps.
Hey.
Cameron Mathison,
Hey,
welcome back.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Cam?
You look
Great
like
to see you guys.
So good to see you. We were just talking about that you look like you're in a magical forest, which is it suits you.
I kind of am in a magical forest. I'm doing a 2-week quarantine up in Canada before I shoot my next Hallmark movie. And I actually found this quarantine location myself for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to find a magical forest, which is not easy to find. And number two, I've got a huge 80-yard chipping area. Can you see it over there? Oh, you can't. There you go. I'm chipping balls over here. I'm hitting golf balls.
What? Jeff is so jealous. I see it right now, and I'm loving it. Okay, so before we get into your big news about your next TV role, give us an update on your health. You beat kidney cancer over a year ago. We are so proud of you. Tell us about your health now, how you stay fit. We also heard you gave up coffee. Give us all the details.
So part of this, I figured the only chance for me to give up coffee, by the way, coffee's not bad. I was just overdoing it. I figured I'd lock myself in a cabin in the mountains with no coffee, and maybe I could then finally give it up. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. My 1-year MRI came back completely clear, so 1 year down, hopefully many to go. I feel excellent, super healthy. I've got my energy back and my strength back, and I'm, I couldn't be more grateful. I'm really, really lucky.
Cam, everyone knows I got a mush on you. I got a man crush on you, buddy. Everyone knows that. I follow you on
Back at you, brother. Back at you.
Yes. I follow you on Instagram, and you're always doing goofy stuff. You still have teenage daughters. You're dancing with your daughter, Vanessa. What else do you do to embarrass them? Am I embarrassed by you, Cam? Or did I look at that. That doesn't seem embarrassed.
Listen. I love that you called her my daughter. I don't know if that was just a slip up or not, but that happened to be my wife. But I'm going to tell her you called her her daughter. Anyway.
I was like, because it got weird. I don't have a prompter over here, and I saw Vanessa. So thank God you corrected me, because I'm like, that's someone salsa dancing with your daughter. So
that would have been really weird, dude. This interview would have gone a whole different direction. No, that's my wife.
That was his wife.
Because Cam, I'm just gonna say this as an observer. I'm seeing Jeff asking that question. I'm like, oh, your daughter's beautiful and young, and I was like, that's a little. And then I was like, well, that's cool. And I was like, oh no. So it was just a slow sequence. So thank you for clearing that up. So we're still in the air today. All right. And,
yeah, man. No, we embarrass our kids every possible way that we can. That is for sure. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I've got like host voice a lot of the time wherever I go. So me being loud in public is a way that I'll embarrass the kids. I'll embarrass them by just like kind of, confronting people in a tricky situation. I'm the guy who kind of like talks about it with people, and I do it in a nice way, I hope, but that absolutely embarrasses them to no end. And there's just so many ways. There's just so many ways. I just have to get up out of bed in the morning and I embarrass them.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed myself right now.
But it's just like, can we lose the embarrassing? Oh, that's my embarrassing dad that looks like a model who's on a soap opera that beat cancer in a year.
I know.
And he's the most driven person you ever meet. So dirty. Like what?
On that note, but the number one thing I can do to cause a problem with my kids is if I post a picture without full photo approval on social media. Like that is the absolute deal breaker dad move. My stock as a dad plummets once I do something like that. So that's the main thing.
They will fix the lighting. I'll give them that. All right. Obviously, we're talking about
Al's embarrassed.
Yes. Obviously, we're talking about your parenting roles that you've had on TV, and you've landed a new one. Congratulations. As an Emmy-nominated soap star, you're back in your familiar waters, joining GH, General Hospital. Tell us, what excites you most about returning to soaps?
I mean, a lot of things. It's literally one of the greatest jobs in the world. When I was on All My Children, I loved it, and I've gone off, done a bunch of different things. But the number one thing I think about going back is that family feel, working every day as an actor. Also, on some level, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot more hosting these days, with Home and Family and Entertainment Tonight and things that I've done in the last several years. And there's something a little bit more kind of grounding and just kind of, I don't know, more relaxed about working as an actor every day, like up here on a movie coming up, and then I'm going right into General Hospital. So I'm looking forward to that too. It's just, it's a little lower stress, I think, for me.
Lower stress. See, Jeff, you said it's a very stressful being on set.
It is a little stressful, but I mean, it's what you're comfortable with. You're on set right now for your new Hallmark movie, right, Cam?
Yeah, I'm about to shoot it in a couple weeks, but when I say lower stress, I mean, like, for me, memorizing words, and you got to do like 30 pages of dialogue every day, and you got to knock it out. You get one take. It's like severely under-rehearsed live theater every night. But for me, that's what I started in. Like I did 15 years of that. That's very, very comfortable for me. I can memorize those pages in the morning over breakfast, and then kind of go in and be myself. Whereas I feel like, hosting or presenting, there's just a different energy about it, a different prep and material. And so for me, I mean, I love both, and I'll still be continuing to do both. But it's hopefully, I say this now, but I heard it's been 10 years since I've done daytime, and I hear it's changed a lot. So if I get in there and I start freaking out, I'm going to be calling you guys. Like, remember what I said?
Good. Yeah. We love to witness those freakouts, so please give us a call. Cam, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. DBL Nation, don't forget to check out Cameron's Instagram, devoted to health and wellness, All Health 360, and stay tuned as more gets revealed about his new role on General Hospital.
Yes.
And, of course, the Hallmark movie coming out. We appreciate you, Cam. Have a great day.
Always good to see you, buddy.
I love you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Love you, too. We'll be
you.
right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even into the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Tomorrow on DBL, the desperate search for a missing mother of 3. As time runs out, her family is begging for answers.
Please bring her home. We need our sister.
Don't miss this all-new True Crime Chronicles only on DBL.
Wow. If you are leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, chat with other viewers, leave your comments, and be a part of our DBL Nation. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. A woman who actually escaped Jonestown is sharing her harrowing journey with us. It's the start of our new series, Free from the Following, Cult Survivor Stories. Plus, Mark Wahlberg is taking a new acting role very seriously. Wait till you hear how many pounds he packed on. And thank you to our coworkers watching from home right now. There they are. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. Tori joins us from home. So when it comes to dating, it appears Ben Affleck doesn't take no for an answer. A social media influencer went viral after claiming she was matched with Ben on the exclusive dating app Raya. She thought it was fake, so she unmatched him, but then revealed on TikTok that Ben sent her a video message on Instagram to prove it was him. Have a look.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Ew, that was creepy. Was that
Why?
not creepy the way he said it? I thought it was creepy.
What if it was the guy we love? Why am I freezing? A brain freeze?
Cillian Murphy?
No, Bill Murray.
Well, Bill Murray I wouldn't want to match with. I just want to hang out with. But if you're talking about Cillian Murphy from
Peaky Blinders. I'm still
Peaky
reeling from
Blinders.
telling one of my mentors that he's dancing with his daughter in the kitchen.
I know. Sorry. Tori, did you not think that was creepy, Tori, the way he said it? I have no problem with him saying, hey, I'm not being catfished. This is me. But the way he said it came off creepy to me.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked it.
Of course you did.
I liked it a lot. I liked it. I thought it was great, and I thought, what so frustrating to miss your moment with the Affleck, and now J-Lo's got him, so it's over.
See,
we don't know.
I would argue she didn't miss her moment. First of all, super boo to her.
Why?
Super boo. Why is she putting his business on TikTok when he discreetly messaged her on a dating site that is reserved for people that do have some kind of celebrity or status in which they want to protect for whatever reason? There's a process to getting into Raya.
It was a clout chase.
And so I just thought that she took that as an opportunity to get some more followers as opposed to like trying to find love. I'm not saying he was.
No, that was shady of her. I'm with you there. Shady.
She's a comedian though, so this is kind of like her style.
There was nothing funny about that. She's a comedian.
Well, then who cares?
Yeah, you're using that term loosely.
Thank
Poor
you.
Al is offended over here.
Yeah, I don't see her on the road.
Sorry.
Tori. Sorry, Tori. I love you, Tori. Okay, this is weird.
Let's move on.
What's happening? Okay, it looks like dad bods are all the rage with some celebrity men. Yesterday, we showed you this photo of Will Smith, where he claimed to be in the worst shape of his life. Now, Mark Wahlberg has also packed on the pounds. He shared a before and after photo of his ripped body, and then one looking a little heavier just 3 weeks later. The weight gain is for a movie role, though. He plays a boxer turned priest in the upcoming film Father Stew. Tori, what do you really, and I know we've had this conversation before, but for some reason, Al and Jeff never believe us. What do you think about Mark's dad bod and just dad bod in general? Don't listen to Jeff and Al.
Okay, and I want this to be really clear. When at least from me, right, when I see someone as ripped as Mark Wahlberg in the previous picture, what I see is someone that has no time for me because they're always at the gym. Yes, it looks nice on a magazine cover, but do I want to cuddle up with it? Do I want to nestle in? No. I prefer someone doughier and also someone who has more time for me. Does that make sense?
To me, it does.
Stop it. Stop this nonsense of I'd rather see a dad bod at the pool than a nice guy who takes care of himself. This is nonsense.
No,
these surveys are out of control. Do you like a dad bod? Yes. Did you vote for Donald Trump? No. Do you like Beyonce? Yes. That's all you answer on these surveys. Nobody tells the truth. Everyone's a liar. Don't tell me you think a big gigantic Mark Wahlberg is better than an in-shape Mark Wahlberg.
First of all, you mentioned the pool. Of course, I'm only going to speak for myself, so I can't generalize, but if I saw a ripped bod at the pool, I may ogle. Now, somebody that I want to marry or date, I don't want to have a ripped bod because to Tori's point, it comes off narcissistic.
Where are all the body shamers, Jeff? Like, people get so, if somebody, a celebrity that was heavy loses weight, they get attacked online. If somebody gets healthy, they get praised online. But when somebody is healthy, I feel like they are open, it's open season to attack them for the way that they look. You guys are prejudging this man because he has an 8-pack.
Him. We're saying he looks
You're saying you wouldn't marry him. That's prejudging?
No, he never said, okay.
And first of all, any dude out there, good luck telling your partner they look doughy and that's why you love them.
Well, this leads us to our next story.
This will be the last DBL you ever see.
This leads us into our next story. So good news for men who don't think that they can achieve Mark's before picture. According to a dating expert, looks aren't what make men attractive to women, okay? The expert polled single women on her Facebook page and asked them to reveal traits they find most attractive in a potential partner. Well, guess what? It turns out the majority of ladies said looks just played a small part. Instead, the women said traits like chivalry, a good personality, a sense of humor make men attractive. They also want a man who has respect and values. They are attracted to men who display honesty and confidence way over 6-packs. Fully agree with this. That's the difference. They always say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Men are much more driven by attractive physicality. Women are driven by what's within. If you make me feel good, empowered, and uplifted, I'm putty in your hands. Does that make sense?
Putty, you mean from their fat backs?
I do, Jeff, it blows my mind that money and status never figure into this conversation. It seems like you're calling people a gold digger, but it's not even mentioned. It's like we don't even use the M word. We don't say money when we know that guys with money have a much larger opportunity to have the mate of their choice. Let's just keep it 100. And it's never on this list. It's always honesty and trust, like it's the Knights of the Round Table.
Tori, that's not true. Tori and I can speak to that. Tori, we've often been the breadwinners in most of our relationships. That's not true. Go, Tori.
Tori, money has nothing to do with it, Tori.
I do think that money is important in terms of structure and stability, but men are visual, and a lot of the time they care about what Sam said, the physicality. And I gotta be honest with you, if a guy is funny and a guy can take care of me, I'm gonna tell you that is such a turn on, and I'm not saying this to look good. It is a turn on deep down in my soul because that's genetically how I was made.
You know what's a turn off? 4 straight Uber pools.
What?
All right.
What does that mean?
That means you don't have your own Uber. All right, it's terrible. I've been broke.
What?
You don't want to be in an Uber with 3 different randoms.
We've all been broke.
Yes, but I'm saying that's not a turn on. Being comfortable, having your own space, having the decision of like, can we go on vacation? Can we afford to go to a restaurant tonight? That helps with the happiness in your relationship, and you guys are talking about honesty.
Honesty is by far superior. Okay, so
you can't just say that and it's over.
Well, I have to get to the next story.
Okay. Well, then you
She's
can.
the host. A recent Starbucks order has gone viral. A barista posted it on Twitter. It's a caramel crunch frappuccino with 5 bananas, extra caramel drizzle, extra whip, extra ice, 7 pumps of dark caramel sauce, extra caramel crunch. The list goes on. Other baristas responded with photos of their ridiculous orders, like this one. This one asks for cold foam, cocoa powder, vanilla-scented cold foam, 3 pumps caramel sauce, 2 pumps vanilla. It also wants sugar, stevia, and equal in the same drink. Yikes.
These are people who have no friends, and then their only socialization is just going to Starbucks and making these ridiculous orders.
Or they're just really fine-tuning what they like.
No friends.
Because that wasn't your order before Starbucks allowed you to do that. Nobody ever did that at a diner. You know, like that was just something. It's like, oh, I can do that. It's kind of, and we've all waited tables. I think that we have had people that are like, I want the lemon on the side, the garnish at the top of the plate, ketchup in a cup. And so I think we know these people, but in the food setting.
Yeah, this is the person that wears a fake ace bandage on their wrist. So they're like, what happened to your wrist? Oh, you'll never believe what happened. I get 6 pumps of whatever.
Tori, go ahead.
No, I just wondered, is there anything to being, I think people in this day and age really like very personalized orders. I think they like the ability to masterfully find and fine-tune their order because everything is now accessible that way, and I think it's like a new trend. Is that not fair?
No, Tori, did you ever wear a
just
fake
have no
ace
friends?
bandage so someone asks you what happened?
No. No, she would never. I will say, listen, I used to be quite extensive with my Starbucks order before I had kids. Now that I have kids, I just don't have time. I'm like, whatever, give me a shot of espresso. I just want the energy. But I remember even being embarrassed asking for
What
that
was
order.
it? You should be.
I wanted to punch myself in the face every time I said it out loud. I swear to God, I was so embarrassed, but I was very fine-tuned into what I want. It was not nearly as bad.
I know, but go for it.
It was a
Go for it.
It was a matcha extra hot grande latte with soy milk, and then half of.
What do you mean extra hot? You have to put it back in the microwave?
I didn't like saying it either. You don't have to say, oh my gosh. I didn't like saying it either. What? Yes,
How do you make it extra hot? So after they pour it in there and they put all that garbage you said in there, then you got to put it in the microwave for
They don't put it in the microwave. They just make it extra hot. You know what, Al?
How do you make it extra hot?
They make it extra hot.
And then you drink it and then you go, whoa, this is too hot.
No, I like it. I like it when it scorches the tongue. Okay. I don't do that anymore. We got to go. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Verify exists to get you the vetted facts about what you read online. And you've probably heard this one, that breastfeeding mothers who are vaccinated for COVID-19 can pass antibodies through their breast milk. So we're tackling this claim in two parts, with some help from our sources, 3 breast milk experts, along with some studies on the subject. First, here's question 1.
Are there SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies in human milk? Can we say that with confidence? Yes. Absolutely.
Several studies have found this result already, although we should note that they're not all peer-reviewed just yet.
Take that with a grain of salt. But from the studies that have come out, there's robust antibody response, more so after vaccination and after natural infection in breast milk.
They have only confirmed our feeling that what we would have predicted is that A, it would be safe, and B, there would be transfer of antibodies, and that's what we're seeing in the preliminary data.
So that brings us to our next question. Is there any evidence that these antibodies can protect infants? And at this point, we just don't know for sure. Although 2 out of our 3 experts think the answer could be yes, based on what they already know about the medicinal properties of breast milk.
What is the degree of protection? You know, how long does it last? Those are scientific questions that we should explore. But I think it's safe to say that there will be some degree of protection.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. We are taking a look into some of the most infamous cults and hearing from the people who escaped. Leslie Wagner Wilson found her way out of the People's Temple. She fled right before the Jonestown massacre and became free from the following. But first, we need to warn you that some of the images you're about to see are extremely graphic.
It's been more than 40 years since cult leader Jim Jones led his followers to commit mass suicide and murder. And Leslie Wagner Wilson is one of 11 followers who escaped from the People's Temple right before the infamous Jonestown massacre. At 18 years old, Leslie was a wife and a mother. That's when cult leader Jim Jones began summoning his followers to leave San Francisco and move to South America, where he built a compound in Guyana to create an idealistic commune. 918 people died in the 1978 Jonestown massacre. Prior to the 9/11 terrorist attacks, this tragedy was responsible for the greatest number of American deaths because of a single act with the intent to kill.
The compound that day, again, there was a little bit of panic. You could see it, especially in the leadership. Those in leadership, you knew something was wrong. Jim did not want Congressman Ryan to be in Jonestown. He did not want the visitors. He doesn't want anyone leaving because he is frightful that everything will be exposed. When we left, we were just prepared to die because we knew that if we got caught, then our punishment would be severe.
This tragedy is responsible for the phrase, drinking the Kool-Aid, something people say casually. But for Leslie, it triggers memories of escaping with her son and the day she lost the rest of her entire family.
Leslie Wagner Wilson, thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. Okay, so as a child, what led your family and many others to join the People's Temple? We have so many questions.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And the reason why we joined People's Temple was because my sister, Michelle, had gotten involved in heavy, hard drugs. One of her friends told her about People's Temple and that they had this incredible youth drug program. And so that's how we initially started traveling from Santa Rosa to Ukiah to the services.
I appreciate you rooting this with us because you were a young mother when your family was instructed to move to Jonestown. And first your husband and son relocated to the compound in Guyana, and then you followed. So why did Jim Jones leave the country to build his perfect utopian society?
Well, originally the Jonestown was supposed to be just a place where you could go, you could travel, then work, and then come back to the United States. Once there was a group of people that left People's Temple, they were members, they went to New West Magazine, and they started actually telling really what was happening behind closed doors. The beatings, the signing blank confessions. And so they exposed People's Temple to a point to where Jim just could not, withstand the heat and possible criminal actions that would follow.
So Leslie, can you describe further what life was like on the compound, and did it ever change over time while you were there?
The community was beautiful. People loved each other. We were working long hours, 6 days a week from, 6 a.m. to sundown. On Sundays, we had this great dinner, music, entertainment. So in the beginning, it was nice because there wasn't an onslaught of people that came. Once the exodus started, there was not enough space. The conditions changed. Women and men had to use the outhouse together. Jim became more paranoid. So in months, the community started changing and the light started turning to darkness.
So when did you realize something wasn't right? What were some of the red flags in the beginning?
The first red flag was Jim, we were at a Sunday service in River Valley. We were mulling around the outside after the service was over, waiting for the next service to start, and we heard gunshots. And people hit the ground, and then people were saying, Jim, father's shot. Father's been shot. And so we went back into the building, and then all of a sudden Jim comes out and people are just in a frantic. But in front of him is this blood-soaked shirt that they had placed in a frame. And he goes to the podium, and we're just like, oh my gosh, he's healed himself. But then he started talking about getting a Mercedes to protect himself. And then I thought, well, if you're supposed to have so much power, your supernatural power, why would you need a car to protect yourself? But I brushed those thoughts out because I thought, you don't have enough faith, and how are you doubting Father?
Wow. And Leslie, what was it like being in the presence of Jim Jones?
I feared him in the fact that I saw the brutality and the sadistic behavior that he had. So to me, he was not a loving person on all accounts. There was something very, very dark about him.
Leslie, you were only 22 when you escaped the Jonestown massacre. Tell us about that day and escaping.
That morning, there was a feeling in the air of quietness, almost surreal. So we started up this hill, and they could see us from the ground, and I was waiting for the bullet to hit. I thought, there's no way they're not going to see us. All of us on that day were ready to die. It was a horrific day, but it was also a freedom walk. It wasn't until the wee hours of the morning that we were told that 500 had ran into the jungle and 500 were dead.
What lesson do you hope that we all learn from your story?
The lessons I hope that will be learned is that we all are seeking a safe place. We all are seeking love. We're seeking hope. We're seeking a balance. And so we have to be very careful on who we listen to. And so when you find yourself in an organization and there are red flags or your spirit is saying, that's not right, listen to that. Because I call that your God sense. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it intuition. But we are innately built to respond and receive messages that will allow us to move forward in a safe way.
To our viewers out there, you can learn more about Leslie's harrowing story by picking up a copy of her book, Slavery of Faith. Find it on her website, lesliewagnerwilson.org. And again, Leslie, we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time and your experience.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back.
Kids don't play outside as much as they used to, and that's having an unusual side effect. Their eyesight is getting worse. Let's connect the dots. Nearsightedness is on the rise in kids. That's when you can see close objects clearly, but things far away are fuzzy. It can be caused by genetics and the environment, but experts say it has increased so rapidly that genetics aren't playing as big a role. In the United States alone, nearsightedness has gone up from 25% of the population in the 1970s to 42%. What's causing the increase? Experts say it's actually because children are getting less natural light. Researchers say exposure to daylight and focusing on things far away outside can delay the onset of nearsightedness. And the pandemic has made things worse. New research shows children's eyesight rapidly deteriorated during the quarantine. There's something you can do about it, though. Experts recommend a practice called 20-20-20. That's when you take regular breaks every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And of course, more time outside can make a real difference. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. A majority of people don't enroll in life insurance because they think it's too expensive, but it's actually more affordable than you think. We're chatting about it in today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. Insurance companies base their rates on certain factors. So here's what you need to know. First, age. The younger you are, the lower your premium is. So don't wait until you're older to enroll. Second, gender. Life expectancy for women is about 5 years longer than men. And lastly, health and lifestyle. If you have a good medical history, no risky behavior, and a good driving record, you'll have a much lower premium. When it comes to quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. So call the Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Well.
Taught us anything, it's that something happening on one side of the world could have a direct impact on our side of the world. And that's why the experts I spoke to say that the COVID-19 crisis in India could have repercussions here for public health and for economics.
The COVID-19 situation in India is the worst in the world right now. The country averages more than 300,000 new infections per day, which is significantly higher than the peak for the United States.
So what we're finding in India right now is that there's a variant that's spreading there quite rapidly.
And an inability to vaccinate much of their population. Really only about 9 or 10% of the population has been fully vaccinated.
Our sources are Dr. Amish Adalja, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Matthew Freeman, an immunologist from the University of Maryland. Here's how the India crisis affects the world. First, our experts say with each infection, it offers a new opportunity for the virus to mutate or create a variant. And those variants we've seen can spread faster or even evade some levels of immunization.
And so the worry is that as there are spikes in India or in Europe or South Africa or South America, we see these increasing chance of these variants spreading quickly around the world and even into the United States.
The second problem, according to Dr. Adalja, is India is also one of the main exporting countries of the vaccines for the world.
Part of the plans to vaccinate the world hinged on India's ability to export vaccine that they manufactured there. Now all of their resources are rightly being directed towards their domestic population.
And that's why our experts say that the COVID-19 health crisis in India is more of a global health concern. And going forward, we're going to have to see how world health leaders as well as U.S. leaders react to it. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Diverse team of voices in daytime.
We've really decided that representation matters, so I am here for it all.
Let's reach across the aisle, let's think about our children, and let's stop politicizing everything.
I think it's comical, to be honest with you, because people are losing their minds.
Sam, you missed the whole point.
I'm done. I think I can sing a great country song. When I'm hosting, I feel the most in. Oh, is it not supposed to be now? DBL is all new every day.
We really do not only have the most diverse panel, but we really love to poke at each other.
Yeah, that's not a poke sound.
What?
That's a weird sound. I didn't like that.
What was a poke sound?
It was off-putting. Do it again, Sam.
It was off-putting?
Yeah, that noise.
How would you say a poke sounded?
Like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Like you're pushing into your dream guy's stomach?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we bring it around,
every day.
Sam.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.